Okay.
The question is just, what kind of record do I put on?
A circle one.
Yeah, round one.
It'd be hard
One,
to play a square record. That's
one,
very true.
one that plays music.
Um,
Uh,
Soundtrack or original composition?
Original composition. So I want to open up with what we have for clues and just y'all can put together where last we were.
Okay.
Information, location, literally anything you have. Give me back.
We ransacked, not really. We broke into the Danker Animation Studios and we went around to a bunch of offices. Some dude was definitely like tripping on something. He was scribbling drawings all over his desk and shit that's not good. There was a clue in Peril's office that he was feuding with John Smith over animation being obsolete. So that's at least a lead that we have. The mob and the church are absolutely feuding. The mob killed Zach James as revenge for them sacrificing Amanda, who's a member of the mod, alleged member of the mod, but we kind of figured that out. The owner of the Japanese theater was killed by an expert, and we need to talk to the janitor that was found tied up. It feels like it's connected to the John Smith murder, and I got that information from my lovely piranha plant in the pipe friend.
Okay.
What's
That's
this about a
anybody
piranha
else?
plant?
I don't know. I was talking to some weird dude in a pipe, so I'm pretending he's a piranha plant.
Excuse me.
I don't know whether I don't know when I
We
did
went
it.
and talked to the. We went and spoke with the medical examiner.
True.
Yep. You had a a fairly simple conversation with the coroner. Do you remember what she said?
I sure don't.
Body wasn't missing as much blood as it should have been missing, given its enormous gaping head wound.
Yep.
I see somebody put extra blood in it.
Yeah, someone emblooded that body. That's definitely what happened. A kitten has climbed onto my shoulders. I just want everyone to be jealous of that.
I know we know this for multiple reasons, but y'all found out the cops are definitely dirty.
Oh yeah, fuck
yeah.
the cops.
Yeah, you could assume that because they're cops.
Fuck the police coming straight
we're gonna have
from
to
the
ask
underground.
Timothy, who lives in the dark room.
I get that.
Tim says
reference.
okay. He hates cops. All right. Yeah. Was there anything else from the coroner?
I don't remember. I wasn't there. Even though I was listening, I don't remember.
I'm not out of malice. I'm not going to give you guys facts because I don't want to overstep what I have or have not said.
Yeah, the cause of death appeared to be pretty obvious, decapitation. But he's not missing the amount of blood that he should be missing based on the fact that his head has been removed.
Yes, he was poisoned.
I remember us discussing bruises consistent with, falling to the ground from standing position.
Yep.
Yes. The body looks like it had fallen and impacted the ground, then also had its head removed. And I had asked whether or not it seemed like it had been killed before the head was taken off, and the answer to that question was a resounding no. The guy was killed by having his head taken off.
And again, to clarify, the bruising is from like a fall from standing position, not from being thrown off a roof.
Right. Not the substantial bruising you would expect from a roof fall.
Yeah. Minor from an old man fall.
Right.
Anything else we want to cover?
Not that I can think of, but I think this is a very...
We haven't gone to talk to the wife yet, right?
We have
still
not.
Waiting to talk to the. We're still waiting for the day to come by to talk to the widow.
Yes, as well as the boss.
Well, the day's here. We're waiting to. We're on our way from the coroner to a florist, and then from the florist to a widow.
But
I believe we are starting at the house because y'all were basically meeting up there.
I feel like it was supposed to be the Mike show today, though.
because it was very much the Alex and Kenny show last time.
I don't remember if Mike got a chance to do anything that they wanted to do. So
Well, the thing that I needed to do was getting the info, which I did get out of the cops of the records of the 5 bodies that were found that were weird. On top of looking at the report that was made of this one, which was basically nothing.
I believe Mike did occupy the correct time slot in game, but whereas y'all role played and played off each other, he was just by himself and got the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stiff Mike on anything. I believe that's why yours felt so much longer. You talked to each other, whereas Mike was just like, "Hey, here's the files, here's the info, cool, bye."
Did a lot of stuff.
Well, no, I went with them to the coroner's office.
Yeah, we had a prolonged. We had a prolonged sneaking about.
That's what it
adventure.
was. I went to my informant rather than to the coroners.
The coroner.
Yep.
Yeah, because the coroner doesn't like
Alex
you.
went to the coroners. And I tried to bribe the worker at the restaurant with money.
Right.
20.
Which is like $200.
I told them to keep me updated if anything.
So you didn't try to bribe him so much as you've paid him.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, it was to keep him quiet also that I'm here.
That's just part of the job now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I believe we are safe to open up at the Smith household due to both that being where everyone agreed to convene and it being an appropriate time of day.
Okay.
Which I believe at this point would be about 3:00-ish.
Around 3 in the afternoon. Long enough after lunch that they presumably won't be eating lunch, but not early enough that we're interrupting dinner.
I'm scrolling down to find the timeline real quick just so I can refamiliarize myself with it. Yeah, we're looking at like 3:00-ish on Thursday, April 30th.
1947.
Yep.
Knock, knock, knock.
Hello?
It takes a bit, but eventually a woman approaches the door. Roughly about the same age as John Smith is said to be. Definitely not quite housewifey, but what she has been doing lately seems to be that. If you understand the vibe I'm trying to go for.
Yeah.
It's not like feather duster maid uniform, oh look at me, I never leave the house, but something's up, her husband's not home. Mike, what are you wearing?
I specifically said I was wearing civvy clothes.
Absolutely nothing.
I am in civilian clothing.
Full frontal. All right. She just kind of eyes the group over, given that three men she's potentially never met before have just wandered up and knocked on her door. The latched lock remains shut as she peeks through the crack at you guys.
I did also say I had my badge in case I needed it.
But right now you're left in that you knocked, you explain first kind of situation.
I pull out my badge. Detective Ward, may I come in? We need to. We have something to talk to you about.
Give me persuasion.
Will do. My persuasion is a D4. /D. Roll. D4.
Yeah, only like one character had supercharged numbers, and it was the muscle for fighting. So everyone's got low dice for stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I've got that +2 from being handsome. That's very helpful.
I've got a +2 on streetwise and persuasion.
Well, it's pretty clear she believes you, Mike, because she closes the door, unlocks it, and then opens it just regular. Yes. What can I do?
May we come in?
Immediately accuse her.
Yes.
Come in. You murdered your husband.
And
Um,
she steps aside and guides you in. I'm feeling like going to the kitchen where she immediately puts on a pot of coffee. Feels right.
Oh,
we have just a few questions about your late husband. First, of course, I'd like to offer my condolences.
and gives flowers.
And then I hand over the fancy, the tasteful funerary bouquet.
Did we discuss whether or not?
I think I would have looked it up to make sure that we didn't run into this. 'Cause I feel like I wouldn't have just
Yeah,
blindly
yeah. No,
gone into
we
this.
discussed this extensively.
Yes.
That sh-
more
that
so
she-
if she had been told.
So we're working under the information that she knows, and you're just simply there to talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if she doesn't know that we knew about it and that we're going to deliver that news before we go. We have questions about your late husband.
Yeah, we conferred to make sure that she was aware that her husband was dead.
Yeah,
We-
I feel like it's appropriate because it's been enough time that these shitty cops would have done it anyway. She kind of looks more solemn at the moment and offers a deep breath. What is it you need to know?
What was your husband's routine like recently? Had he been acting strange or out of step?
No, I can't place anything in particular that was wrong.
Had he made mention of anyone anyone with whom he had had recent disagreements? Any
Did he-
thoughts or concerns about the business?
A few days ago, I suppose he mentioned Miss Shaw.
Miss Shaw, you say?
Miss Shaw,
Are we familiar with Miss Shaw?
I don't know a Miss Shaw.
I believe this is the first time the name has popped up.
Okay.
And would you mind telling us who this Miss Shaw individual is? A first name, perhaps?
Would we have known who Miss Shaw is?
First time the name popped up, Tucker said.
Yeah, but like our characters lived in this world.
None of us have that as a
Okay.
unless you have it as a contact. I don't have it under as a contact, so I have no idea who she is. Like
Okay.
the name might have been in passing at most.
Okay.
Would you please elucidate me as to who this Miss Shaw was? And what her relationship was with your late husband?
John didn't say much. I know she works over at the studio, but that's about it. She and he disagreed about a number of things, and he mostly tried to keep work and home separate. But every once in a while, something would eat at him.
Something would eat at him. Like what? I've transitioned to bad William Shatner. It's a hard voice to keep. I'm working on it.
It varied. It was never frequent. It's just when something seems to have gone wrong, be it with a coworker or on his way home, I suppose. Maybe something with a friend. It never lasts long.
I
was-
see.
What kind of things?
Mild mannered is a bit quiet, but I could describe him that way.
Did he make a habit of things happening on his way home?
No, but most days he walked.
Did he ever stop anywhere on his way home?
I presume he goes to he went to the bar frequently enough, given how he often smelled getting home.
Other than the bar, though, did he ever, go to local businesses? Did he make a routine out of visiting people on the way?
No, I can't say that he did, but that would have been a better question for him.
Um, Interesting. I don't know. I really don't know how to phrase the question, but I want to know if she knew what route he would take from work to the bar, from work to home.
I'll give you that one and just respond accordingly.
Okay.
Uh, I assume the most direct path for wherever he was going. Most times it was work to home, but as I said, every once in a while, I suppose not every once in a while, frequently enough, he would make a stop at the bar. He'd occasionally pick up groceries on his way home. Couldn't tell you the exact route.
Okay.
And nothing seemed off about how he would show up at the house the most recent, like within the last week or so.
No,
Hmm.
everything seemed as it should.
Calling.
Do you know what your husband has been working on recently? Any mentions of recent projects?
Well, I know he's one of the CEOs. I guess not CEOs. That's Tucker fumbling. He's one of the he's part of the council in the studio. He doesn't work on projects himself, so to speak. He manages people. But he doesn't often talk about work. And if I got any information from it, it would be that he was arguing with someone and couldn't quite seem to calm down quickly.
Who was it that he had been arguing with? Miss Shaw?
Most recently, yes.
Hmm.
Indeed. Not out loud, but just kind of thinking about the things that we know already. Where he was found, would that make sense along either of the routes that were mentioned to work or to home or to the bar? Or was that...
It was literally in front of the grocery store.
Oh, interesting. That's true.
As far as the routes to the bar or anywhere she had mentioned, we'll say it's close enough to the bar. It's feasible that the bar to his house, that would be the path that he walked.
Okay. Is that somebody else furiously typing out notes or working on something
That was
else?
me.
Okay.
That was me.
All right. So that's...
Hold on. Is Shaw part of the grocery store? Is that why it's important?
No, Shaw, we don't know the relation.
Shaw was somebody who works at the at Danker Studios.
Gotcha. Okay.
In what capacity? Do you happen to know in what capacity Miss Shaw worked at your husband's company?
No, like I said, he didn't often speak about work. I'd hear a few names here or there. I'm aware that Miss Danker and Mr. Peril are on the board as well, but past that, it wasn't often I heard names.
I see. I'm not sure what else we can get from her.
I know, and that's the problem because, like, she definitely can give us something. We just don't have the right question.
Well, what we got was a name.
We did get a name, and that's very helpful, but I wish... I don't know. So, where he was found wasn't out of the ordinary when we look back and re-examine. So, he could have been... All right.
I mean,
so
the path wasn't out of the ordinary, but the alleyway might have been.
Yeah, so on the day that the unfortunate happened, was...
Kenning, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Mike, the alley was a dead end, in case you're implying he was using the alley to get home.
No. I'm saying someone stashed him in the alley.
I'm just making it clear that like the alley was a dead end.
No,
so
I
was
figured
John.
as much.
Yeah.
So
No, I was more so implying that if he was like he wouldn't have gone down that alley on his own normally.
Mm-hmm. So on the day that your husband was found, as unfortunate as that is, did he tell you that he had any prior plans to go grocery shopping on his way home?
No. If he went, I suspect there was something he wanted specifically for dinner.
He was found with nothing in his hands. Like no bags, no nothing.
Yeah, as far as we can tell, he wasn't robbed. But I believe he was found in between the alley of like the general store and the grocery store or whatever. So it could have happened before he got there. But I'm wondering now if the person we're looking for is physically closer to the grocery store.
There's also a chance that he was just mugged, and that's what the... We'll talk about this once we...
Yeah. I know we're taking a lot of pauses here, but this is a very fluid conversation we're having with the wife.
No, I understand that this is you guys trying to figure out what best to say, not necessarily in character.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how I would ask this. No, I don't think I would ask that. The way the news was brought and delivered to you about your husband's departure, did it seem odd, out of place, on how the cops delivered it?
No. What was the police report I told you?
That somebody threw something off the roof and it killed him.
The actual report you never posted for me. For his thing.
What?
You just gave me the 5 of the ones that stood out as weird.
I believe I told you this one was his was particularly short.
Yes.
Found man, he was dead. Cause of death, dying.
No, the officers were quick but understanding. They let me know what happened. I wouldn't say there was anything off about it.
Okay.
Oh, shit. What was the name of that guy?
Which one?
Arnie Walker. Had your husband mentioned another one of his co-workers by the name of Arnie Walker?
I will correct you, Kenny. He has 2 co-workers. That would be Danker and Peril.
Well, what his subordinate then?
Which one was Arnie Walker?
He's the dude. I keep going back to it because it's the only tangible thing. The dude with the drawings all over his desk.
Oh, yes.
Not by name. Is there anything you're? What are you trying to? learn?
He was working on a series of drawings for seemingly a new character that we haven't seen before, and we're just wondering if maybe somehow that is involved. I pull out a crude drawing that I made to try to memorize what the character looked like and show it to her.
He just kind of looks at it and shrugs.
No, is the kid around?
No, you have not seen nor heard her. I'm just gonna say her.
Her? Okay. Cause all right. If she ends up coming into the scene, I would definitely want to see if she recognizes it.
Fair.
But as she's not here, I can't do that. All right. Hasn't mentioned. So he just doesn't talk about work. Was there anything not work related that's been causing him a lot of stress lately?
Has your husband been worried about any stalkers or recent threats to his life? That was a joke. I didn't actually.
But it's
Has
kind
your
of what I'm
husband
getting at.
No.
Has your husband rather conveniently mentioned anyone who's been trying to kill him recently?
No, Mr. Peril gets quite loud. John had made that very clear, but past that, no.
Mr.
Whom?
Peril.
His co-board member. He's one of the other top three. Yeah. Huh? Shit, anybody got anything?
Does your husband keep a journal or anything where he would write his own thoughts that you weren't privy to?
If he does, it's certainly not here.
Does he have an office in the house?
I feel like the answer would be yes.
Right,
I feel like
that
that's
feels...
I feel like that's a 40s thing.
Yeah.
May we take a look?
She just kind of sighs deeply and gets up. She takes you through the house, a couple of doors down, and simply opens it.
Oh, nothing here. No.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna-
it's a white void, oddly enough.
Yeah, I'm definitely rummaging through drawers and shit.
But like
Politely.
politely.
Would
not
you
like-
mind if we took a few minutes to inspect your husband's office?
She just she sighs and just simply steps away.
All right, time to investigate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna focus on like the drawers, see if there's any like notebooks or any book like writings, letters.
I am also once again going to be looking for like big red books that you pull to open a secret doorway, false bottoms and drawers, scratch marks on the floor to indicate furniture being moved repeatedly.
Given roll investigate.
Yes.
And
I also would like to do that.
Yeah, somebody do it. Don't care.
I've got a D6.
I've got a D4. That sounds weird.
I'll go ahead and roll.
You and Kenny were doing your own investigation. I was specifically looking through the desk.
I will
My rolls are terrible.
roll. Rolling is the thing that I'm trying to do, so I
Fine.
got to do that. Change my keyboard, then go into here.
I'm following. Yeah. I'm doing. Yeah. The thing that we had been talking about, looking for journals, false doors, and cabinets. You know, giving the whole place the once over.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
I got a 9.
Damn, yours is way
I
better.
opened all the drawers in the desk and closed them all. Nope, nothing in there.
Close your fingers in them. Got it.
No, there's no sign of frequent furniture rearranging. There's only a couple of things in the room. There's a large armchair, a desk with what looks like a dining room table chair to go with it, and there's a wardrobe.
Ooh,
The only thing in the wardrobe is a very nice but odorous smoking jacket.
check the pockets.
Cigar stuff.
Cigar
that's my
stuff.
that's my complete lack of knowledge.
That's fine. I take a seat in the chair for a moment.
The desk one or the big one?
The big one. The what I'm assuming is a lazy boy.
No, think of more like not like a living room armchair, like the important person in the room sits here kind of chair.
Okay.
High back, kind of filigree on the sides.
Right. What is the chair pointed at? What's in my immediate looking forward view?
Let's say just off to the side would be a window outside, and for the most part, the chair is just pointed at a corner. It is in a corner, pointed at a corner.
Okay. What can I see when looking out the window?
Normal 40s backyard shit. I know that's
see.
not particularly interesting or descriptive, but like
Nope. I'm I'm grasping at straws, so they're not all going to be winners. I get that.
like, I want to say like a jungle gym, but that feels off.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't tell you why. That just feels wrong.
A swing set.
Like, he's got a kid. Normal 40s,
Yeah.
normal 40s backyard stuff. That's what you get.
I poke my hands in the seat of the chair, like going between the chair and the cushion, feeling for anything. Is there anything that I find?
Find some change.
All right, that's cool. I'll leave that on the desk. I don't need to steal a dead man's money.
That just leads to curses.
Yeah, his wife could use every fucking penny right now.
But between the three of you, you've kind of given this room a complete scan, and it just seems like a like the guy had a chair he really liked and wanted to be able to shut his door to get away from the family for a little bit.
So he was having an affair.
Yes, the big Alaskan king in the room would be able to indicate that.
You would walk in through the side window.
Yeah, the mattress is so big you have to come in through the window.
You're not gonna bring her through the front door.
An Alaskan king's like 10 foot by 10 foot.
Do you
Oh,
mean
yeah.
a California king?
No.
No, Alaska goes down to Colorado, goes down to California.
Okay.
Yeah, Alaskan
Alaska
King is the
is
biggest.
very large state.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing until recently, Kenny. Yeah, there's
Okay.
2 sizes above California king.
I didn't realize that. That's fantastic. All right.
I don't even know what I do with like 10 feet of bed.
Lay in it.
What wouldn't you do, Tucker?
Exactly.
Eat dinner.
Think of all the okay, that's
Well, that's what the bottom 2 feet of the bed is for, because you're never gonna see it.
that's my thrashing space.
You can get crumbs on that part of the bed.
Oh, yeah, you'll never see him again. Anyway, no bed, no jokes. This just seems like a well-off gentleman's office.
Well, it can't be that because that's not good for gathering clues.
You mean the room that Tucker wasn't sure existed and decided that it didn't contain the keynote clue?
I guess, but like I can't play off of Tucker didn't think about this existing, therefore it's not important.
You can play off the fact that Alex rolled a 9, which is a raise.
Okay, all right. Then
That's
I got nothing.
yeah, with the 9 and the nothing, I was like, okay, this room is not going to pay us dividends.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, it did pay
I-
us a little bit.
I feel we should let her. Words. What am I trying to say?
For the record, you were offered coffee while you were asking her questions. I forgot to mention that.
I'm the
Okay.
kind of asshole
Sorry.
that would have accepted it.
Oh yeah.
Is
I
it
know,
an
it'd be
Irish coffee?
Black, and she offered cream.
Ah, so no leprechauns.
Nah, the cops are miserable. We drink it black.
I'm not a cop. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else to ask her, which is unfortunate because in like an hour I'll think of like 20 things I could have asked her.
Well, we'll tell her if anything else comes up that we'll be in contact, and if she thinks of anything, to get in contact with Alex's company.
Real quick. I guess as we're leaving, thank you for your time. Sorry to bring this up again. I know you're still in the grieving process. Shit, I already forgot what I was gonna ask. Damn it.
The
Fuck.
kid was home.
Nope. Oh damn, it was good too, and I can't remember.
All right. Well, if you remember and I agree that it's good, we can flash back.
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
when the police told you about what happened, did they ask you any questions?
No, it was fairly short, fairly simple. They came by with a small flower arrangement, let me know what had happened, and then simply left.
Is the flower arrangement nearby?
Yeah, it's on the kitchen table.
What does it look like? Is it like actual sympathy? Is it a bouquet that was already put together? Was it a quester?
It's definitely professionally done, but it's still like a last minute. I'm not paying a lot.
Okay, it's more of a like we have to do this, not a we should do this. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it for me.
All right. She unless anybody's gonna speak up, she shows you out, and you can definitely hear her lock the door again.
Mm-hmm. So I feel we should go
Kidnap the
at
kid.
the very no. At the very least talk to this Miss Shaw.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on there.
Do you think you could get a lead on her?
I don't have a contact in there.
Yeah, but you work
I
for
could
the police.
probably get us in there, but what do you mean the lead?
Did she did say that she worked at the
At the studios.
Okay.
Yes.
Then yeah, then that's fine. Then off to the studios, I think it would be next.
Which maybe we run into your guy there as well.
Yeah.
Maybe in today.
I know my guy will.
No. The guy who was drawing on the desk.
Yeah, but yeah, fair.
So is everyone going to the studios now?
I think so.
I think that's the
That's-
most logical
yeah.
next place to go.
The only lead we have is a new mystery name.
Well, there's still plenty of other things you can follow up on.
Well, yeah, we can go talk, or we can go investigate the grocery store, see if he'd been there that night.
We already talked to the grocery store. We actually very rudely awoken the man, but now I'm wondering if he was
No,
pretending to be awoken.
Nope, that's the bar owner. Grocery store is across the street.
No, it was the day we
For a
found him, we interrogated the grocery store owner.
Yeah, he was a sleepy guy, and you gave him a coffee to half perk him up, and it helped, but not a lot.
Oh, I thought that he was the owner of the
Yeah, the old man from I believe it was Frank's Bait and Tackle.
yeah, and the grocery store was across the street.
Next
these are
door.
separate.
No, the grocery store was its own building.
Yeah, the alleyway separated Bait and Tackle and the grocery store.
No, it separated a pharmacy and Bait and Tackle.
Oh.
Yeah, and the grocery store is across the actual road.
Oh,
Correct.
Okay.
The teenager was working the overnight
Okay.
or the late night or whatever it was. And I figured we could go talk to the teenager who was working there and see if he had been there that night to do grocery shopping or anything like that.
You also know there's a mafia in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, fuckers? You kill my guy?
I'd be willing to go talk to some mafiosos.
I believe at least one of you has a mafia thing written down.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah,
don't
definitely
like
not
me.
I.
I'm
They don't
pretty
like
sure
me.
Pretty sure it's me.
Let me see.
I'm pretty sure it's Kenny as well.
What
Yeah.
the fuck's
Kenny
the
has the informant that's in that area, and I have that.
Oh, and I
been
could go
there.
talk with the I could go talk to Joshua Fisher,
Who's
who
that?
is a higher up in the Church of Vertoverum, who's a man on the inside for me.
Oh, Tucker, I don't have a mob connection.
Really?
Unless it got deleted somehow. I could have sworn I did too, but I do not see it in my list. Oh, here it is.
That's one under Edges, one you can actually pull a favor with.
Yes. Okay.
I also
see
have
it.
Jeremiah Adams that we can talk to in the Church of the Vertoverum.
I'm not necessarily trying to lead you one way or the other. I'm just trying to draw the attention to the fact that you're not completely clueless.
Yeah.
At one point, a couple of you, I believe, were going out into we're going to head out to the ranger station, which is probably a better daytime activity than a nighttime activity.
Mhm.
True.
I believe that's the janitor,
Yeah.
and I believe that's most things that.
Oh yeah, we were also told to talk to the janitor who was there when the body of the theater owner was found,
Yeah.
and he was in the closet.
Yeah. So, I still think the anime, or should we follow up on other leads before we go to the animation house? Because I don't know about you guys, but I am very suspect that the animation house had to do with the death more than anyone else did.
I think we need to split up again to cover ground.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it makes sense for one of us to go to the animation house, one of us to head to the mob, and one to the church.
Okay. Does I have a connection in both the animation studio and the mob?
Yeah, I've got Paul Belcher, who's the guy who hired me,
So he's animation studio.
who's in the animation studio. But I've also got a contact with a member of the church.
Yeah, the church doesn't like me. Neither
Sure.
does the mafia. I got no one in the studio, so
So it sounds like the studio's the place where you're gonna go. Nothing's better than negative.
Yeah. I think we can skip the church for now, though, potentially, because I feel like the mob is going to be very forthcoming. Like, yeah, we killed him, what of it? Where the church is going to be like, oh, no, we didn't kill anybody. It was the act of God that wanted this to happen. Like, that's not really going to help.
It's entirely on you guys. I will, as much as I don't want to give information for free, I will draw attention to the fact that the church kind of swept in one day and just kind of set up. This is not like a particularly well-established place of worship.
Right.
and we know
It's not-
they do sacrifices.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely a cult.
It's not like it's your average ordinary like Catholic church. I know I used the word vicar, which apparently is strictly to Christians, but I'm using it not in that context. I just like it as a word to describe a religious person.
I mean, a vicar is like a pastor. It's like a Christian church thing, but like the fun thing about cults is that they can use whatever language they want to use for their dudes.
Out of character, I was trying to be as like nondescript religious as possible. This isn't a real world religion.
Right.
I mean, we can.
You can split up 3 ways. You can do whatever you got to do.
I think we split up 3 ways.
I will say, to get a small amount more control myself, at 10 p.m. in game, session ends.
Okay.
That's where I have chapter 2 ending anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that's gonna come to a halt.
That's fine. We can work with that. And it's currently, what, 3:30, 3:45?
The time you get to wherever you're going, we're gonna start at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm gonna let's.
I'll add to them their church because I want to get as much information as we can.
That's fair. Yeah.
Um,
I will volunteer to go last.
So,
So is
Alex,
it-
are going to the church. You said.
that is my plan.
So is this a 3-way split?
I believe so.
Yes, because I don't think me. I could go with Alex. They won't like me as much, but Alex might be able to dissuade them from being. That
Yeah, you
way.
can come with me. Well, that'll be good. We can make
And then
my
we can meet at the studio to see if she's there after we're done with our stuff separately. It's like around 6 or so. We meet up at the studio, depending on how long it takes.
Well, you're about to separate, so coming up with a set time to meet at the studio would probably be pretty good.
So let's say 6, giving us 2 hours to investigate, talk, and
Okay. 6 sounds good.
So we're following the detective and the PI over to the Church of Vertoverum.
What does Vertoverum mean?
truth be proven, I believe.
Okay.
I know Verito means truth.
I don't speak Italian, let alone ancient nerd Italian.
Ancient nerd Italian. I like it.
Latin is just ancient nerd Italian.
Ancient Nerd Italian's a pretty good band name.
Ancient nerd Italian.
Verito means change. And verum means truly. So basically to change the truth or something of that meaning.
You ever wish you could change your fate?
As I desperately scroll for information, the church is a fairly big building, and it's exactly as ornate as you think it would be. A very large steeple in the middle. The corners of the all of the corners are done up a little extra with a high standing ornate piece atop it. It from the outside, it screams place of worship.
Makes sense.
No stained glass, just kind of big tinted windows. And we'll say it's a deep green.
A Kelly green, if you will.
I won't. But so heading towards the church, what is the plan of this team?
I'm gonna go in and find my guy, Mr. Joshua Fisher. I'll ask him what the news is with the church, see if there's anything going on in relation to the studio that he might know about.
I'm there as merely an observer because I'm not a cop today.
So you're gonna go in and specifically try to find Vicar Fisher.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Will you take no for an answer? And are you going to interact with anybody on your way to see him?
We could also ask for Jeremiah Adams if we absolutely need, if Fisher doesn't show up.
It sort of depends in what capacity they tell me no.
Right. I just kind of wanted to get a nice. I wanted to get an idea going in as to what I'm looking at. So how do you go in the building?
What time of day is it?
Like 4 o'clock. Not like 4 o'clock. We agreed that it's 4 o'clock by the time you get to your destination.
Okay, so it's 4 of the o'clock. Not
Doors?
generally speaking a time when there's a big old religious service. Is there a what do the entrances look like? What are my options?
You go up a few steps to a massive pair of double doors, each one emblazoned with the church's insignia on the front.
Okay.
Are you going to scan the building?
Yeah.
There's a couple other doors along the sides and the back. Give me Streetwise. I believe that's a Savage World skill.
Sure. Let me take a look at what my stat is. My Streetwise is a D6 plus 2.
Mine is a D4.
So yeah, why don't you help my roll out?
I don't know.
11.
Or not.
I'm on the wrong thing. Generally speaking, I'm gonna have one person roll. I don't care who, and I will deal accordingly if you're gonna do the same action. So if you're both gonna do Streetwise, it's just whoever wants to throw the dice throws the dice.
Well, Mike got it out before I did, so we'll give it to Mike's fucking 11.
Yep. You skulk around the outside. This is a big building. There's, if I remember correctly, there's like a bay door at the back, like where shipments would go to, like where you'd bring a truck, like where you'd bring a truck up to. And there's a couple more side entrances. There's one that, as you walk around the building, you're confident leads into the main hall, the main religious sermon area. That's what I mean by hall. And the other one leads to some sort of back room. It's definitely further behind in the building.
Right, so sorry, what were our entrance options?
The
You got
front, the very back, which was like a loading dock, and something else. I forgot the
A,
other one.
a side door leading into the main hall, sermon room, whatever you'd call it, and then a side door that leads definitely somewhere else in the building.
Yeah, let's head to the loading dock.
All right. You stay behind the building, and there's a like I said, there's a kind of a small ramp for a truck to go down, and this would be where supplies are moved, one way or the other. Uh, the church has been here for a bit, but you know they took over a building. So while it might be odd that the church has this, it definitely is just part of the building that the church is now using.
Okay.
I'm picturing like a big garage door style door, a big metal thing that would have to go up, kind of almost not accordion style, but like slot up against the roof and then brought back down. Does that make sense?
One more time, sorry?
It's like a garage door.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, loading dock door.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Unlike the main entrance, this is not emblazoned with any sort of insignia.
Okay.
Is it locked?
Yes.
All right. Is there a regular door there as well, or is it just a?
No, only the big door. The only two normal doors you saw were the one that leads into the main hall and the one that leads somewhere else in the building that you've never been.
Okay.
Okay. Then let's keep going to the next side door and see if that's open.
In my head, the order you headed counterclockwise around the building. You came to the second door to the main hall, then the loading door. So continuing counterclockwise around the building, you would make it to this door that leads to a different part in the building. You're uncertain as to where it goes, as you have neither of you have been particularly deep into the church.
Okay.
But this is definitely a door on the building.
Is it unlocked?
It is not unlocked. It is locked.
I'm gonna try to pick that there lock.
All right.
Yep. Hey.
It takes you a minute. It takes you a moment or two, but you wedge your lockpick in there and you fiddle around. And right when you think you've broken your pick, you manage to you hear the, I want to say tumblers, but that's not right. Is it right?
Yeah, no tumblers.
You hear the tumblers set into place, and you unlock the door.
I think those are pins. I know tumblers. Some locks have tumblers. I don't know.
You hear the
Pins?
pin. You hear the pin set into place. Whatever
Either is
appropriate
correct.
terminology is. I want to sound smart, but sometimes I just don't know shit. The
You
lock unlocks.
squizzle the swizzle and squizzy the do, and the lock unlocks. All right. Come on in. The
It leads-
key is to just act like you belong.
The only thing immediately there is a large unlit hallway. Or very long unlit hallway. The light flooding in from outside gives you the feeling that you don't see the end of this hallway.
All right, I'm gonna go down looking for my dude.
As you wander down, these walls are fairly blank. There's really nothing of note to look at, and it's very clear you are not in a public portion of the church. Maybe 20 feet in, there's a couple of doors before the hallway takes a turn left, and the turn down goes down a set of stairs.
All right, let's descend into the spooky stairs.
Wouldn't be going into church if it wasn't going down to hell.
You came here to find a guy, and now you're just fucking trespassing.
It's fine. I got my badge.
Give me a moment.
Like I said, hold on. I'd like to play a little game of Schrodinger's inventory.
Okay.
Clipboard.
Clipboard?
Clipboard.
No.
No?
No, that that doesn't feel like a thing you'd keep.
I disagree. Nobody stops somebody if they're walking brusquely and carrying a clipboard. My private investigator, who needs to frequently infiltrate locations wherein he is not allowed, would be well aware of this and carry on him a clipboard.
Roll streetwise. If you pass, you can have a clipboard.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. I love Schrodinger's inventory.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. I hold my clipboard. I assume the appropriate back straight, shoulders back body language. And I go to walking.
And you're headed downstairs.
Correctamundo.
All right, the stairs descend fairly steep and take a turn so that you're not based on how you feel you're oriented, so you're staying under the building and not going like out under the street.
I had to make sure that it was appropriate, that like a clipboard was a thing that would have existed towards the end of World War II. Clipboards were invented in 1908. We're good.
I mean, worst comes to worst, it's a notepad.
Yeah, notepad could have worked too.
So you head down the stairs, and it has your traditional creepy lighting. There's a couple hanging bulbs that just kind of flicker. There are a couple of rooms off to the side as this hallway goes down. I'm not going to give a number. You can see the end of it, and there are several rooms on either side.
Okay.
All right.
And as you make it to the bottom of the stairs, you can hear. Oh, roll perception.
No, is this one that both of us would roll?
Yes, this is one you. You're not helping each other. This is to see if either one of you hears it.
That's what I figured,
do
but
you
I
mean
wanted to make
notice?
sure.
I mean, notice. Between 5e and Savage Worlds, I don't know what the fuck skills are what.
4.
Five, but I failed on my natural die.
You hear a low droning. And you can't make out any more than that. It's a nearly constant noise emanating from somewhere down here. You didn't hear it upstairs, but you hear it down here.
Hmm. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, I pull out my notepad to try and look like I'm also playing the part of Inspector. I don't have a notebook, or I don't have a clipboard. I wouldn't carry that with me in street clothes.
So is the plan to just rummage?
I'm not. No, I'm not here to immediately just start rummaging through everything. I am currently looking for my contact.
You
Now
are you
that
are
being said, I am a snoop by nature,
you are
and
in the
I.
you are in the
Sorry.
building's basement again. I wanna make that clear.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Let's go in full rummage mode.
I would say like we peek in to the doors. If there's nothing of note, we just keep going. Type of rummaging.
All right. So
yeah.
we gonna do all the doors in order, or go down one side then back up the other?
I mean, there are two of us on two sides of the hallway.
Yeah.
The first pair of doors, one side leads to what's very clearly like just your average janitorial supply closet, mops, buckets. There's a valve that leads to not like a hydrant, but like what you would use to clean the mops.
Okay.
Um, and the other side is a larger room filled with crates. They're stacked in such a way that there is that they form like a small alley down them. But this room is quite full.
Are there any labels facing out that we can see easily?
Not that you can read.
Because it's written in a language I don't know?
Correct.
Oh.
Based strictly on placement, you suspect that this is like maybe it's marked fragile. There's definitely like one word on the front, uh, as well as some sort of like stamped shipping address.
I motion to you. You think there's something in here?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, drink. I guess we can look at the first one, like a crate, and see what's in there. Determine if it's worth opening any further.
Well, they're sealed. These are shipping crates, so you're gonna potentially go back, grab something to pry it open with, and pry it open.
Yeah.
There's nothing around here that they would have used to pry these open.
Not that you can see, no. Yeah, there's something. It's not a crowbar, but there's something you can use in the supply closet. You come back. Someone roll strength for me. Right? It's strength, not might or anything.
Yeah, strength.
I'm fairly average on how strong I am.
Yeah.
Can I assist on the strength roll?
I'm gonna take a look around. Are there any anything I could use to help lever this thing open?
That's what we found.
That's it.
Was something to help open.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then yeah, let's just gonna just go for it.
Alex, I love you, but it's very clear when you're somewhere else.
Yeah, sorry, my brain is a little bloof at the moment. All right.
So one of you roll strength. We'll assume the other is helping, and that'll mitigate or boost accordingly.
Okay.
I've got a D6.
Same, so it doesn't matter. You can
All
roll.
right. Sure.
There is one character with a higher strength die than you, and it was not picked.
I got a 1 on my natural die and a 5 on my wild die.
All right, you jam your makeshift pry bar into it, and you pop up the top. It's full of straw, and as you push it aside, there's these large, clear. I don't want to say flasks. Flasks is too small. Barrels feels weird to be made of glass, but there's large glass containers full of this black liquid.
Huh.
That's not normal.
How big are these containers? Are we talking vials? Are we talking
No, big, like trash can sized.
Oh, okay. We're talking
Oh.
drums.
I feel like drum is bigger than what I'm picturing, but yes,
Like a keg.
Yeah, it's not something you'd put in your pocket. This is definitely for like a bigger transport.
Trash can sized, you say?
Do we have any idea what? Can I tell what this liquid is?
Oh. Does this look
No.
like the trash can on the side of the alley?
Again, not a trash can. It's a big glass jar.
Okay. Does the jar
Oh.
have a lid?
No, it is stoppered on the front with what looks like a big rubber cork.
All right. Well, time to
Someone's
play
been
another
watching a lot of
small game of
cartoons.
Schrodinger's inventory. I'm a PI in a noir story. Do I have a flask?
Sure.
Cool. Here, drink this. I'm gonna hand the flask to the detective.
What is it?
Probably whiskey.
I was
Alright.
also feeling whiskey.
You want me to down it?
Yeah, I need it empty.
We're not gonna waste it.
And I'm not gonna pour it on the floor.
All right. Bottoms up.
All right. You now have an empty flask.
I think we can see where this is going. I want to pop this cork.
The cork is more or less flush with the neck of the bottle, and it's smooth on top.
That's fine. I've got a set of lockpicks, right?
Yeah.
Could I use the various rods and pokey bits as a makeshift corkscrew?
In my head, the lockpicks would be too small for the size of this cork.
Fair enough. How big is the cork?
I'm gonna say between 4 and 6 inches across,
That's a hefty cork.
and it's jammed in there pretty deep. Beneath the cork is maybe another inch before it's just we'll call it a keg, glass keg.
All right.
I guess what I'm getting at is you can open it, but it will be clear someone has opened this. There will be damage to the cork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not too miffed about that.
They're used to the cops poking around.
Not even that. I'm just sort of we've already pried open a box. Like this is only a problem if they know that I specifically was here. So I don't really care. Yeah, I'm willing to just take a knife and go smack, 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 stab, 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 dig, 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 dig until I get to where I need to
you
be.
can jam something deep enough into the cork that you can slowly kind of pry it out.
Yeah, that's what I've been
It's
trying to do.
it's very clear that there is a big knife mark in it now, but you have managed to prop this thing open as you watch the black liquid inside slowly creep down the sides of the keg. So roll dexterity to pour this very heavy jar.
Could I get some? This seems like a 2-man job.
Hold on, why don't we just dip the keg in or the flask in?
Mike, roll a d6 for me.
Exploding or none?
I don't want to get it
Nope,
all over
just-
my hands.
Just the d6. The flask is in fact able to fit through the neck of a keg.
Cool. Then yeah, I'll go in and I'll just sort of goop up a little bit of this goop.
If you especially if you don't want to get any of it on you, you're gonna roll dexterity
Yes.
or agility.
You should definitely drink it right away, though. I bet it's people.
You manage to tip it in just a way, gauging how slowly it flows, that you can get not a lot of it before it gets close to your hand, but you do get what we'll call a gulp of whatever this fluid is into the flask.
Ooh, mystery goo. All right. I'd like to jam the cork back in the bottle and then put the bottle back in the crate and then try to close the crate.
Are you trying to make it look like no one was here?
I'm going to do the best that I can. It's not going to hold up to scrutiny once they open the crate up, but the objective is to make it so they don't immediately go, hey, we should look in that crate.
Beginning streetwise, I feel like that's probably the best hiding an object in plain sight skill.
Makes sense to me. Got
All
a
right.
6.
You jam it back down. It only looks like someone was in there if you want to believe someone was in there.
Cool. Let's leave this room, close the door, and check out the next one.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm looking for the source of that humming sound.
as you head down the hallway, you can hear it getting louder.
Okay, we're heading towards it.
The next set of doors is another thing of crates that match the last one. And then on the other side of the hall is definitely not that. There's an altar in the back of the room. There is a mess of stains on the floor, following a circle of candles around, a circle of unlit candles around this floor stain. The cement walls are fairly barren. The altar is reasonably ornate.
Interesting.
Comfortably, the room could probably hold about 12 people.
What does the design of the floor look like?
Roll streetwise for me, or notice. I don't care which. Or notice. I don't care which.
Pentagram. Does it
They're the
look-
same for me, so it doesn't make a difference.
It's not so much a design as it is the remains of something. This is a lot of blood.
Blood. I hope this is not Chris's blood. Sorry. Every once in a while, I'll just jump back into Resident Evil 1. Can I tell? No, there'd be no way for me to tell what kind of blood it is. Lots of blood though, huh?
Yeah, it's not, and it's not
Um,
like it's not fresh. It's been there a while.
Well, what do you take of this? what do you take of from this? I gesture at the blood room.
Well, it's clear something's been going down here. That isn't just church stuff.
Or maybe maybe that's exactly what it is. How much do you know about this church?
Not much. I know we've been here times.
All right. I'm gonna. Is there anything else in this room, or is it just empty, save for the blood stains on the floor?
There's an altar in the back,
We are
and
going to take a look at that altar.
there are some unlit candles laid out mostly in a circle around the stain.
Is there anything in particular about the candles? Do they look just like regular candles, or?
They all match. They're at different heights. We'll say like 2 inches across. Got some thick boys.
Tucker, because of my coming here for Jeremiah Adams, when we're poking around asking questions as a cop, have I seen this room before?
No.
All right. Has anyone
No.
seen this room and reported it?
No. Once the Vickers took over, there's been little reason to come check this place, and you've never seen any reports about anything in the basement.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go take a look at the altar.
Right? What are you looking for?
Just see if there's what's there, what it looks like, if there's a little compartments, if there are remnants of religious services, just seeing what is there at the altar.
You get your average ordinary everyday pen sitting on the top of it. And that's not sarcasm, it just looks like a super duper normal pen given how weird this room is.
Sure.
It's kind of ornate. The church's symbol is on the front of it, and it's kind of expanded out from there. Maybe mid chest height for either of you. It's definitely something where someone would lead whatever's happening in this room from.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot left to it currently. I guess maybe a book of matches.
Are there any books lying around that have
Hold on.
ceremonies or something?
Nope. Nope. No books.
On that book of matches, is it from anywhere? Does it have like a logo on it or anything?
Roll a d6.
Read a detective story. I know all about books of matches.
Nope, unmarked.
Unfortunate. All right. Back out the door then and continue following for the that sound.
There's a pair of doors left, and you can still hear the droning, so it's inevitably going to be one of these two doors.
I'm going to open the door real carefully in case there's
Which
something on the other side.
Great side or altar side?
What side? If we put our ear to the door, what seems to be the loudest?
Altar side.
Yeah, guessed right.
And at this point, you can hear that the droning is voices. This is some sort of deep chant.
Oh. I don't like that.
Yep. So I'm going to open the door real careful and quiet like.
As that door creaks open, it fades to black. Hey, Kenny, what are you? You're going to the mob? How are we addressing this?
Well, I feel good about our choices, Mike.
Yeah. We're gonna die.
What happened? Why couldn't I unmute myself?
So you have a contact, yes?
Oui, Monsieur Redwood.
I know a guy.
So are you going to call this favor, or are you simply going and looking to speak to him?
I don't think I'm calling a favor right now, but that could change as the conversation goes on.
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to know if you were walking in and gonna tell the first like crony you see, "Hey, go find Redwood. He owes me something," or if this is, "Hey, is Redwood here? I kind of need to talk to him."
It's gonna be the second one.
Okay. Um. Just kind of with this arbitrary layout of the town. There's down by the docks. There's definitely a mob-controlled building, but that's for like you're confident that's for moving supplies, and it's not constantly full of important people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a building in town. Let's say at one point it was a billiards hall. Can I say that?
Yeah. Pool exists.
15th century.
Yeah, pool is an old ass fucking thing. They used to be the balls used to be carved out of elephant tusks.
Okay. Did not
Yeah.
know pool was that old.
Pool's old.
So then, yeah, let's definitely say there's an old billiards hall that had gone out of business and is full of mob activity. So you're gonna head to the billiards hall, or you're gonna head to the docks?
Probably the billiard hall.
All right. There's no real disguise to it. There's no sign out front anymore, but the place is definitely in use. You can hear shit. You just gonna walk in?
I will politely knock at the front door.
Throw a d6 for me.
Throw a d6. 5.
Roll notice.
Rolling a notice. What is my notice? Is very poor, but we do this, and then we add a little spice on it, and we get to explode that 4. 6.
From within, you hear somebody. You just barely catch it. Hey, the skid, go get the door.
The skid?
Hey, the skid, go get the door.
Ah, okay.
And moments later, you see somebody at the door who kind of slides the little the eye thing out of the way and just kind of peers out at you with narrowed eyes. Who are you? What do you want?
I'm here to collect some information that I'm sure your boss has. My name's insert name here.
Still haven't found it?
I cannot remember what it was. It was really good though. I keep going back to Mookie Betts because that sounds like a good good like 1940s name, but that's definitely somebody on the Red Sox.
That's also definitely not what you picked.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm looking for Redwood.
You see his eyes open wider, and you can hear him gasp. You got beef with Redwood?
Beef? Absolutely not. He's a mutual acquaintance of mine.
He turns around, and you can see that the building is definitely not set up as a billiards hall anymore. Well, there are a couple of pool tables. This is set up more like a lounge now.
Yeah.
You can't quite make anybody out, but you can see that there's a number of people here. He turns around and kind of looks at a couple people. Hey, Benny, is Redwood here? It's just 10-point buck, right? And you hear what was the name? What was the first name I said?
Skids.
Skid?
After that, who did he just speak to? I immediately forgot which name I used.
I wasn't sure what part was slang and what part was name.
Okay, then I'm. Hey, Vinny,
Yeah.
is Redwood in the back, or is it just 10-point buck here today? And you hear him mumble something back. I don't know where Redwood is today.
Unfortunate.
From just behind him, you can see somebody grab him by the shoulder and pull him aside. The thing slots shut and the door opens up, and the guy who steps out, kind of got like he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
His skin's kind of pale. But despite that, he still gives this air of like I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, of course.
I don't mean pale like pasty. I mean pale like
He's never
almost
seen
like
the sun.
no, like almost like sick.
Oh, okay.
You can see just above his shirt, he's got his chest is wrapped in bandages. And I had something good for this previously, and I can't think of anything now. What's a curious? Is that the word I want?
I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, it's basically what I want. He's got kind of like a curious on. Except it's adorned with some of the biggest antlers you've ever seen.
What's a curious?
Kind of like a chest plate.
Okay.
Cuirass.
Cuirass?
Cuirass? Cuirass?
Cuirass?
I think it's Cuirass.
I think it's Cuirass.
I'm gonna look it up.
Curass.
Well, I wouldn't have known it either way, so let's go.
I think there's an I in there.
Yeah,
Oh
Cuira.
my god, it's pronounced Queerass.
Queer
Is
ass
it?
hysterical.
It is literally pronounced queer ass.
All right.
Well,
Wow.
Well, this guy's got a queer ass that looks like a deer. What's up?
I was
He should-
not expecting that.
no.
I also was not expecting it to be queer ass.
Well, we've learned something delightful today. I can't wait to tell Chris.
He steps out and he closes the door behind him, kind of folds his arms in front of you. You're looking for Redwood?
Of course he is. Yes, I seem to be working on I guess somewhat of a project, a little fact-finding nope, that's not the voice. I seem to be working on a little fact-finding venture with some pals of mine, and I'm sure Redwood is a vast resource of information, and I'm just hoping that he'd be able to set me straight.
We're just gonna glaze over this one real quick. He asks your name, you give your name.
I gotta fucking find it. I'm so pissed that I lost it. It was so good.
And he when you say it, he kind of quirks an eyebrow. You all right? You all right? Give me a minute. And he kind of pushes you back, not aggressively, but like, hey, you're not coming in right now. And he turns back in through the door. You can hear a small amount of chatter in, and it takes probably longer than you expect.
Okay.
But the same guy who opened the door before, the skid, who opened the little slot hole before, opens the door. All right, you're looking for Redwood? Follow me.
All right, I appreciate it.
You looking for Redwood? No, I'm looking for Sequoia.
Was it Mo? Was my first name Mo?
Maybe.
It might have been.
I feel like that's because I'm going for like a Three Stooges-esque accent, so I think Mo something. Mo Tannenbaum. That's what I'm going with.
The skid is kind of a small guy, wiry, and he's definitely got road rash on his face.
Oof.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
He walks you through the hall, and there's a number of men and women amongst the room. Some playing pool, some just kind of. The stories seem to stop as you walk past. Like, hey, this guy can't hear this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the skid takes you to the kitchen. He's like, he just kind of gestures in and then steps back.
Okay.
A moment later, just as big as you thought 10-Point Buck was, Redwood is a mountain of a man. Definitely pushing 7 feet tall, if not past it. This guy is huge.
Okay.
Tall, not broad.
Got it.
The other guy was built like he's a brawler. Redwood's just tall.
Okay.
And he has a nice head of bright red hair.
Okay, I like it.
They weren't shitting me. It is you. What do you need?
Yeah, so
Didn't think I'd see you outside the bar.
yeah, well, this one here, I'm stumped. I gotta be honest. I'm working on something, and I'm trying to collect information, and I just can't seem to get my head on straight about it. I'm hoping you can help me at least change my thought process at the moment. Maybe you know something that could be helpful. I'm not saying you do, but I think I'd like to talk this out with you. But first, can you tell me about what happened with oh shit, what was her name? Fuck. Was it Amy? Amanda? Yeah. Can you enlighten me as to that unfortunate situation with Amanda? I'm curious as to why the church would have picked her over anyone else.
Roll persuasion.
Yes. Persuasion.
Because if you're not trying to call in your favor, I need a roll.
Yes. Nope. That is absolutely fine. I also am hoping that this naturally goes to a direction that's helpful. That's a 7.
All right. Redwood turns back to the stove as he continues cooking something. Why did they take Amanda? I couldn't really tell you. She's I know she had a name. Hang on.
Yes.
He wouldn't call her Amanda.
Yes. It. Fuck. I don't think I
Man,
wrote.
Manhandler.
There it is. That's the one.
To be honest, I can't tell you why they took Manhandler. She No, that's just about it. I don't know if she pissed anybody off in the church specifically. We've got our beef, and we tend to let that sit. There's no point stirring the pot. He says as he stirs his pot.
I was also asking myself the same thing because anybody who's anybody in this town knows not to fuck with you guys. And it seems like somebody who's, new to town could take a lesson from that, or at least not start picking fights this early. So I was wondering if there was anything there.
Well, you kind of shot the buck in the heart. The church isn't exactly old money, so to speak.
Right.
They haven't exactly learned to just kind of look the other way yet.
Do you think that message been received? I hear old Zach got the message loud and clear.
Did I give you a last name with that?
Probably. I did not write it down. And I'm pretty sure it was Zachariah.
Yeah, Zachariah James. I was hoping I had him somewhere else in the document.
Right here, Zach James. Yes.
Oh, hang on. One more moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I needed. Cross-reference that with a different piece of information. I'm not certain those fellows over there are actually going to learn anything. I don't trust them.
I don't think anyone does. I certainly don't. In fact, the thing I'm cooking up? I'm not cooking it up. It's being cooked. I'm in the kitchen with this. I've got my head wrapped around this John Smith murder. And obviously the dirty cops are saying that it was an accidental death. Like that's ever a thing. And I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it because this is very problematic. As you know, he's one of the big heads of the Danker Animation Studio, which basically pays for the town. I don't want to say runs the town. I think we know who does that. But it pays for the town. And without him, Mr. Peril might get his way and move away from animation. And for all we know, he might go down to old Cali for that kind of business, leaving our nice little treasure trove here to dry up. And I don't want that to happen. Do you know anything about the John Smith case, or is this news to you? I know the story is just broken if it hasn't broken already.
Well, firstly, there's plenty of accidents. You ought to know that. And I'm not talking about, and he kind of stares you directly in the eye, accidents. I'm talking accidents here.
Yeah, but
I mean, for fuck's sake, there's been bear attacks.
gives a chuckle. Yeah, but I don't think bears are throwing trash cans off 5-story buildings, pegging a guy in the dome, only for that said dome to not be at the crime scene.
All I'm saying is that sometimes you can believe an accident. Sometimes it's us, sometimes it's an accident. As for your other question, we got some conflicting information here.
We do.
Yeah.
What's the information that you have?
Harold don't give a shit.
He might not give a shit about John Smith. Thank you.
No, but animation. He couldn't give less of a shit.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because this whole town is based on animation, and if
No, you're mishearing me. He's fine with it.
oh, okay.
Last I'd heard, John Smith was trying to off his own department.
Really? That is definitely news to me. Why would that be the case? He's the department head.
Yeah, but just that's not going to change the fact that there's 3 of them in charge up there. They can't go down to 2. That's going to lead stalemates. 1 vote's left, 1 vote's right. You need someone to break the tie. So they're not just going to up and get rid of him. It's expensive. It's a gamble. None of this is going quite right. Nothing amazing's come of it yet. Like, you got those plays anybody can name. We got a couple of movies everybody's real fond of. But can you name a single cartoon?
All right. I don't know what cartoons are real or not, so I guess I can't name any. So are you saying that John Smith was seeing the end of animation?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna guess the Looney Tunes were, if the Roadrunner show's in 1949.
Okay, so that stuff actually happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some old timey cartoons.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse would be a thing well established at this point. I just wasn't sure if Mickey Mouse existed.
You mean
Yeah.
Michael Rodent?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew that because Donald got an honorable discharge for the military for his propaganda work in World War II.
Mickey Mouse's appearance was in 1828. Steamboat Willie?
Steamboat Willie was not made in 1828.
I said 1928.
1928. I think you said 1828.
Maybe,
I
I
heard
meant
1828.
Snow White was in the 30s.
My point being, there are definitely some notable cartoons.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, Bugs Bunny, Tweety Bird, Goofy.
Fucking that one with the huge titties. What they made in Japan.
Betty Boop? Was I right?
No.
On no counts were you correct.
The big titties?
I was also gonna guess Betty Boop.
I was just being silly.
Oh, okay.
I thought you meant Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next guess.
It's a fad. It ain't going nowhere.
And you think John Smith saw that? He saw that it was a fad that was coming to an end.
He got put in charge of a department he don't like, and he doesn't want any part of it.
So what
That's
would...
all that's all I've found.
Interesting. If you could just speculate with me here, what would his motive be for killing his own department? Was he trying to take over another one? Trying to start another department from the ground up?
Look, I ain't got everything. And if you're trying to call in your favor, you're not going to get everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to call him my favorite just yet. I'm trying to figure out why John Smith would want to kill his own department if...
I'm letting you ride your persuasion check a little longer.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think for myself. I don't see why that would make sense, but I don't have all the pieces anyway. I don't know what else
So
to
look.
ask. Michelle.
So look, you out of the bar. So something's clearly going down. You got roped into this some way or another.
Yeah. That goes without saying. All I
Now,
know... Yeah.
Are we here to exchange pleasantries or information?
Mostly pleasantries at the moment. I know the direction this case is headed. I am going to have to ask you for a favor very soon, but not necessarily right now. So if I gotta go, I gotta go.
Well, first you're going to try this, and he holds out a ladle for you.
Oh yeah, I'm about it.
It's a terrible stew. It is completely unpalatable. The textures in it are miserable. This is... Ooh boy.
Do I need to roll a vigor check?
No, but roll... not charisma. Roll spirit to keep a straight face.
Roll spirit. Oh. It's gonna be bad. With a wild die?
Yep, you get a wild die. You always get a wild die.
Oh, fuck yeah!
All right, you can manage. You manage to not express your innermost opinions on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, thank you very much. That was, I had a chill in my bones, but, that's gone now. Thank you.
I'm not... All right. He then proceeds to dump way too much salt into it.
I was gonna suggest some salt, and I'm like, ooh, all right.
So, when you want some more information, because I'm not gonna give you the cow for free. Let me know, because I think based on what you said, I think I got some relevant information for you.
And Redwood, as always, much appreciated. You can expect a call from me soon.
Wow, I can't tempt you with that?
Not right now. I don't have the questions to ask, so unless he's just going to lay it out on the table, I don't want to waste my thing.
The way Connections works is each time you use it, it gets progressively riskier.
Okay, all right. I thought it was a one-and-done thing.
I believe I said that, but I believe the way it actually works is that it gets progressively riskier. It's not like it's a freebie.
Okay.
But if you do something now and want something later, he might just declare you owe him.
Okay. I have one final question to ask, and his reaction will determine if I call in my favor now.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have you heard of any other professionals in the area lately?
I don't know what you're asking.
We were led to believe
Pittman.
that the person who killed John Smith is the same person who threw the dude off the roof of the
Okay,
Japanese theater.
He quirks his brow, and then just kind of looks at you. We talking the same thing here?
I believe we are, and you know what? I think it's time that I call in that favor.
I'm gonna go with no. My team's the most professional.
Not the most professional, a professional with no leash. Or no allegiance.
Look, I can't control 10-point Buck. What happens to him is his own problem.
Okay. No, I've been led to believe that the person who killed John Smith is the same professional who killed the owner of the Japanese theater, and in this line of work, that's not good for business. That's not good for you. That's not good for me. It's not good for the animation studio if we have a unknown variable here who's going around knocking off high priority people.
As you're talking about that, he puts the ladle back in the soup and kind of walks over to the door and leans out. Hey, Buck, we know anybody any loose cannons around here? What? No, that it was. I got shot. I got shot. It wasn't a cannon. No. Anybody not under our employ who's out whacking people.
I fucking love 10-Point Buck.
I mean, we got the church that. I'm pretty sure it was a vicar what shot me. Look, I don't give a shit about your chest wounds. Just, all right, no. I'm gonna go. Wolf's not here. I'm gonna go with no.
Well, if it's not you, I can't say for certain it's not the church, but it doesn't fit their MO. If they're gonna kill somebody, they're gonna
Look,
take them first.
It don't fit their public MO.
I guess that's fair. Do you know of any I don't know what the right word is here. Any secret not known hits that the church have performed?
No, but they're sketchy as shit.
I mean,
And
yeah.
look, I'm not gonna give you everything for free. So we're gonna talk about the studio. Or we're gonna talk about the church.
Let's talk about the studio.
Or are we going to talk more about 10-Point Buck on a leash?
Let's talk about the
Give me-
studio.
Give me 1 second.
Yep. Whap.
10-Point Buck is one hell of a nickname.
Who apparently sponged a fucking chest shot. Like.
So, Kenny, you have any luck with Yuzu?
No, I haven't had a chance to mess with it. I just upgraded my SD card on the Switch because I didn't realize it was 16 gigs and it held one Pokemon game. So I upgraded it to a 256 gig micro SD card, and I'm going to copy it as soon as I get a chance. And
Man, I remember when I was like, hey guys, this little flash drive here has 256 megabytes.
Yep.
I know.
Impressive. I'm king
now we're like,
bitch
here's the thing, the
because I
size
have
of
a
my
4 gig flash drive.
Or like, yeah, right? And then it's like, I live in the modern day where I have this tiny micro SD card the size of my pinky fingernail
Mhm.
on which I can fit the complete works housed in the Library of Congress.
Yeah. I've got a terabyte SSD that is the size of a credit card. Oh, fuck that. An M.2? Is that RAM or a terabyte? I can't tell.
I don't know what an M dot is.
It's a solid state drive, but it's very skinny. It's just like a chip instead of like an actual plastic housing thing, and it's incredibly fast.
Wild.
Yeah. But yeah, storage is getting crazy. Oh, I love how flash drives were going to be a thing of the future and very quickly was replaced with cloud. It's just there. I can pull it whenever I need it.
Yeah, there's definitely still real benefits to physical storage.
Oh, yeah. If I had a keyring, I'd have a flash drive on my keyring.
It's just a lot more reliable than the cloud, you know?
Mm-hmm. I've burned out like 4 flash drives in the last few years because of my server. I didn't know you could do that with a flash drive.
Yeah.
I am back.
Hi, back.
I'm dead.
Yeah, you know about the vote on Friday, right?
Do I know about the vote on Friday?
Have I said anything about a Friday vote?
I do not know anything about a Friday vote.
Yeah, well, with one of the heads gone, they're going to decide what happens to that part of the studio. And I got to imagine If someone's hired you, they're probably looking to get a name cleared so that they can actually participate in the vote.
We don't have any suspects at the moment. Today's Thursday,
Yes.
so the vote's tomorrow.
Thursday.
Hmm.
The vote is cast to be at some point tomorrow. Yes.
Okay. So, but if they wanted to dissolve the department, it doesn't make sense for John Smith to die if he was on the side of dissolving it.
Look, I don't got all the information.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just trying to logic my way through it out loud. Sometimes it helps. It's a process.
If somebody within the studio wanted to make sure the vote went one way or the other, off and ahead is a pretty extreme way to go about it, but potentially successful.
Interesting.
And if look, I don't care. I think it's a complete. I don't want to say sham. Sham's not the right word. It's nothing. It's not gonna last.
A fad.
So yeah, it's a fad. And they can just let it die on their own. Time will kill it. I promise you that. But I don't know what goes on in there. I got a couple of guys on low level to let me know, so I can keep my fingers in all the pies. But past that, like I said, I know there's going to be a big change coming in soon, and I believe the vote tomorrow is going to be a hell of a choice for them. Not muted, right? Is Kenny muted?
No, I'm typing a lot of notes right now because I think I have officially landed on a suspect.
Okay.
On that note, do you happen to know a Miss Shaw?
Yeah, she's over at the animation studio.
She's at the animation studio. Do you know what department she's in? Is she in the animation department? And is it...
Yeah, she's the lady right underneath Smith.
Okay. And what would you say her thoughts on the matter is? Would you think she'd want animation to stay or go?
I mean, she's the head of the department. She's got a lot on the line if it goes.
Well, she's the head of the department now.
Well, no, let me rephrase. She's I guess chairperson might be the better, and maybe not chairperson. Smith had that side. Shaw handled everybody within the department.
Okay.
And I got if she likes it, then I got to imagine she's running her animators ragged, trying to make sure they can put out something new, something good, something interesting. Because let me tell you, we ain't got shit now. Past that, if she hates it, then it's probably pretty easy for her to just let it die. Also, you brought it up. If you're looking for any more information about Manhandler, you should check with the rangers out in the woods.
Why would the Rangers have information? Did it happen in their part of the woods?
Yeah, they're the ones who found it, and we don't fuck with them.
Mutual respect, or...
Look, we stay out of the woods.
Okay.
That might be our flavor, but it's not our place.
Okay. Tucker, am I whiffing on my thing yet here?
No, I'm just kind of I'm giving you stuff. If you're pulling if you're pulling connections, then I feel like I'm doing it justice.
I am pulling connections here, and I can't wait to regroup. But I don't want to end the conversation if there's more that I can get. I don't know how far this connection first use will go.
I feel like you can continue speaking for a little bit. I might not answer everything depending on how shit goes, but if you have more questions, ask more questions.
I don't know what questions I have is the problem. I'm looking at the notes that I took.
You could dig about the church a little bit more.
Yeah.
If there's anybody in town, any business in town you want to know more about, these would be the guys.
Let me ask about the church, I guess. So, going back to the church, they haven't been around for very long. They've been around for a year, few years.
Actually, I know they're.
You posted it in one of the things that you posted.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I don't. They've been here a little while. We'll say somewhere between 5 and 10 years.
Okay. And in that amount of time, they haven't learned their place, figured out where they are in the pecking order.
No, they figured it out. They're fighting for more position.
What do you think their end goal is here? To get the whole town converted, or to just live above the law? Because so far it seems like, the Bleeding Blues might be looking the other way. You guys certainly, for all intents and purposes, are not.
Look, there's I guess there's maybe a key thing you don't know.
Okay.
You know how the mayor got elected?
I don't, so no.
If I'm asking you the question, do you know how the mayor got elected?
Yeah.
Do you actually, Kenny?
Yeah, if the mayor got elected, it's because the mob wanted him elected.
Yeah.
Just like JFK.
And and we don't like the Vickers, so therefore the mayor don't like the Vickers.
Okay.
And that's like where their beef with us comes down. Past that, a bunch of fucking weirdos over there.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
They got a couple of converts from town. Like they're not actively like recruiting or anything. They're not converting, recruiting, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're just kind of ever present, a background piece, which is kind of suspicious.
It is. So they must have someone high up, maybe not as high as the mayor, who's pulling for him, huh? The fact that they haven't been run out of town yet suggests that they've got a, no pun intended, higher power.
I mean, potentially they got something going on that's helping them keep a foothold.
And if it's not the mob, who's the other powerhouse in town?
You think in the studio?
It stands to reason. I mean, if you're not the one keeping them in town, and the mayor's not the one keeping them in town, who else has pull around here?
I mean, I guess I see a logic. I'm not necessarily following any sort of connection here.
Yeah, I don't know the connection either. Maybe it's nothing, but if I had to, formulate a guess or a hypothesis here, I'd say that the next higher up is the one pulling for him. So it could be a single individual in the studio rather than it as a whole. Or hey, maybe that's the new department they're trying to form, huh?
So look, I don't like them. They're doing some weird shit, and I've had my fill of them. Are you gonna be playing games with them?
Like fucking with them? Kenny to Tucker?
Like, are you gonna be interacting with them more, potentially pissing them off?
I might not be intending on pissing them off, but they may have some questions that may need answers.
So that's a yes. Here, take this. And he rummages in his pocket and he pulls out a. It's probably bone, but he pulls out a symbol of the church.
And where'd you get this?
What do you think we got this? What do
Good
you think
old
I got
Zachariah.
this? They've been fighting hard to get it back, so I don't mind if it goes with you for now. Just don't give it to him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right. We done here, cause pretty sure soup's on.
Yeah, I will leave you and your friends to dinner. Thank you very much for the time we've spent together this lovely evening. And
You're not staying?
I've got I got some people waiting on me. I can't afford to be out any longer without them knowing where I am, given the state of things.
Yeah, all right. Do what you gotta do.
Well, once again, I appreciate your hospitality, and I'll take a rain check on dinner if that's okay.
Yeah, he picks up the pot and he kind of eyes you. This sets us square, you know.
Yep, I'm aware. Thank you.
All right, and he steps over to the thing and bumps it open. Hot soup, and he just kind of wanders over to one of the billiard tables and just not like breaks it, but he just drops it down as someone quickly darts into the kitchen and starts grabbing bowls.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can hear him mumbling on your way out. When the door closes, you definitely hear somebody just gag in disgust.
Then the sound of a single gunshot. Okay. All right. That was very enlightening.
Again, I will remind you, people don't necessarily have correct or accurate information.
Yeah.
They have what they know.
They have what they know.
Other note, anybody see what I did with the mob?
No.
That's fine. You don't have to. It was mostly a me thing.
Yeah, I believe I missed it. I'm afraid.
We'll
To share?
Nope, we'll come back to it later.
Okay.
So back in the church basement.
Are they cannibals?
The
Oh,
mob?
we're about to find out.
Yeah.
The mob or the church?
The mob. Was it people
Oh,
that
no.
I fed? That I got fed?
No, he's just a shitty cook.
Okay.
He's just really bad at this.
Got it.
Yeah, back at the church, so you're opening the door with the chanting behind it.
Yeah, we already said we were.
Because
Are you
that always goes
you-
over well.
Yeah, are you kicking it in? Are you gonna try to open it slowly and peek in? Like, what are we doing with this?
Kick it open, brandishing clipboards.
I wouldn't say we're gonna kick it open. We're just gonna maybe open like naturally. Trying not to raise too much suspicion from the already suspicious thing we're doing.
All right. You just open the door. No, not kicking it in, but no hesitation. You just grab the handle and open that door.
Acting like we belong here.
There's a guy at the back of the room. His arms are out and his eyes are rolled up into his head. And the 6 other guys in the room, kind of 3 on each side, are not in unison. I don't know what the word is for, like, it's not one then the next. They're all saying the same chant, but like a second or two behind the guy in front of them.
We call that a round.
Like row, row your boat.
Yes, they're chanting in round. Again, the room seems fairly empty, though this one doesn't have a big blood stain on it. The single light hanging from the ceiling is flickering, but with the door open, nobody seems to notice. You suspect that they all might be looking like this lead here.
Interesting. What do you think they're doing? Short of
So
acting
do I
very
recognize? Do I recognize my contact?
No. The only person whose face you can see is whoever's leading this, and that is not your buddy.
Can I make out anything? Can I make out what the chanting is?
No, you suspect it's the same language that the shipments were in.
All right. Uh, describe the room for me again. What it looks like?
Mostly empty. There appears to be a light behind the gentleman leading this chant. The one who's dressed a little bit differently, who you can just safely assume is a flock leader. Well, everybody, the other 6 gentlemen in the room, dressed in deep green robes, chant in round. It's very deep.
Does the guy that's that we see right here next to him, does that look like Jeremiah Adams?
No.
Does he wear the same clothes that Jeremiah would wear to denote rank?
I'm gonna say no because I think Jeremiah.
He's the High Vicar.
Was a bullfrog. Gotta make sure that got said.
Yeah, Jeremiah has his own unique clothing. He is in charge.
Okay. Does this guy look like he's wearing the general clothes that I've seen other leaders in general wearing?
No, but maybe on that level. Maybe it's an adjacent position.
Okay.
It definitely doesn't match what Adams wears. But again, it could easily be an adjacent position. Just
Okay.
just decorated differently.
Interesting. I'm going to snap my fingers in front of the guy's face. See if that does anything.
He's on the other side of the room, so you're gonna walk past everybody to him.
Oh no! Then one of the first people, the closest ones, if they seem to be in the same state.
Again, the leader appears to be the one in charge, and everyone else is a similar state than him. He is silent. The 6 others are chanting.
But
Go ahead.
they seem like they're out of it, like he is out of it.
Yes, and you can go ahead and roll a d6 for me if you want to. If you plan on snapping in front of them.
Unless Alex stops me.
Wait, sorry. No, hold on. What?
The detective leans forward with his fingers cocked and ready to snap as he steps into the room, kind of pointed at one of the chanters.
I'm gonna grab the back of your shirt and pull you right back into the shadows, my friend. No, no.
Door still open?
I'm with one arm. I'd like to try to keep the door from making a sound. With the other, I would like to keep my friend from making a sound.
Mike, are you doing anything to stop this?
No, I'll question it when I'm outside with him and figure out why he stopped me from doing what I was doing.
Then there's no roll. The door shuts fairly quietly, and you and the detective does not seem to fight back.
Uh,
When we're out of the door.
Is it
Or
the
out of it.
door is shut, you're still next to it, and there's one door left unopened.
Well, why did you stop me?
Why were you trying? Why were why were you trying to bring attention to ourselves?
Did you not notice that none of them were even paying attention to the fact that we even walked in the door? Does that
Uh,
not seem weird? They all seemed out of it.
Sure, and I'd like to keep them from yeah, I had noticed. I didn't think that alerting them or snapping them out of their little trance would do us much good.
It seemed like a win for us.
Seemed like waking everybody up real quick might get us in a lot of trouble.
I mean, we're here on the pretense that we're here to inspect them.
Uh, we're here to observe. I don't know what's going on there, but blowing our cover is a last resort kind of thing. Whatever the hell is happening here,
I, I will politely remind you, this is 40s on Earth.
Yeah,
okay.
which is why I think it's weird that they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
definitely
believe in the supernatural.
right. It's definitely weird, and spooky. And we're trespassing in the basement of a spooky, weird cult. I don't think making a big noise to get a bunch of strangers that are chanting in a weird, freaky mystery language.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just, again, I'm just reminding you that this is just like regular old World War II era Earth.
Right. No, correct. Which is why
Meaning
my
they can
characters.
check our credentials as fast as we can disappear.
Man,
The past, where it was easier to murder someone and get away.
yeah.
I'm already
Where-
going against protocol that I've been told to not touch anything.
Where you can stab a guy in the neck and get away with it.
Right. That's see what Tucker's saying is what I'm afraid of. Is we go into the room with the cultists who are chanting and we go, "Hey, everybody, wake up from your spooky chant trance. We're the fuzz and we'd like to have Oh, you've already stabbed me."
For the record, I was speaking from Mike's perspective, as in just stabbing everyone in the room and no one has to know.
It's not accomplished.
No more
What is,
spooky.
hold on. What is me not checking to see if their conscience not accomplished for us? We found chanting and then went, oh,
What
we're
is-
gone.
Oh my god. Because then they'll be chasing us and they'll know that we're here.
I am gonna stop sassing. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna let this happen in character. I will refrain from non-helpful information.
Subterfuge is the name of the game. Observe, record.
So we're gonna walk away from the room that we need to observe.
We're not no we can definitely check it out, but we're not going to do anything to make our presences be known.
And then once
That is antithetical to our objective.
So while we're in there observing, the chanting stops. They open their eyes. They see us standing there, just as bad as
And
me
we
snapping.
fucking run. We're making a gamble that isn't going to happen.
So me snapping, knowing it most likely will happen, is an easier
Would be
way to run.
bad.
But it'd be an easier way to run out,
Mike,
or at least anticipating what I'm doing.
all right. I'm going to go into this
This is in
gunfight.
character. This is in character.
I have a question, Mike. If the goal is to leave, why not just leave?
I'm going to go rob this. I'm going to go steal
No,
the Mona
the goal
Lisa
was
from
to
the
figure
Louvre.
out what's going on here
I'm
to get
going,
information.
Mike, I'm going to follow your thought process through, but I'm going to very slightly transition the area we're in. I'm going to rob a bank. I'm prepared to rob this bank, and I'm ready to be sneaky while I rob this bank. Now, there's a chance that I get detected while I'm robbing this bank, and then the alarms will get tripped, and I'll have to run away from the police. Knowing that that's a possibility, I'm going to walk in the front door and loudly pronounce my intention to rob the bank. That way I know that they'll trip the alarms, and I'll be prepared to have to run away from the police. You see why that's not... I don't like this plan.
Yeah, but your plan didn't include a bank that's fully unconscious and unaware of it.
The premise is that we would try to maintain them being unaware of us.
In the example, they would be the alarm system, and by snapping in front of them, you are intentionally tripping the alarm.
Correct. Yes, that was my analogy.
So the point of having a clipboard in case we got caught was for no reason.
No, it wasn't in case we get caught.
Right.
It
hold
wasn't
on.
in case. It was
No,
not. Hey,
Okay,
now
hear me
I've got the clipboard. I'm gonna go get caught.
Hear me out then. Where they're inspecting the place, no one's watching it. Like, no one's responding to us. Hey, we're here. What's going on?
I don't.
I
There's a
will.
fundamental misunderstanding happening here, wherein your goal is to interact with these people, and my goal is to very specifically not interact with any of the people in that room.
Mike, it sounds like you're missing the piece where the door you went through was locked.
The initial door, yes.
So we're here to inspect. Gets increasingly more suspicious given that you unlocked the door.
The person up front let us in.
Right. No, there's definitely a whole bunch of different options and things, but like the clipboard idea was if we walked into like a security guard or like a janitor, not if we like walked into a room full of entranced cultists.
Well, then I have no idea what the plan is that you're trying to figure out now. So I thought we were trying to figure out what's going on here. And if a quick 2 snap, not like, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's a snap, snap, nothing. Okay.
I think you understood the plan, but made it bigger. If I understand what Alex is trying to do, he was simply trying to skulk. The clipboard is a
Yes.
backup, so when someone goes, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here," no, look at this clipboard. I'm definitely supposed to be here. Why else would I have a clipboard?
I mean, our plan to skulk went out the window when we stole from their crates.
No, not really. Because the crates, again, we put them back to where they were supposed to be. We made it look like we hadn't fucked with their stuff.
And I will.
I'll go along.
Like,
Whatever.
I guess my question is, Mike, what is it that you're hoping to accomplish by waking them up out of
No,
their
no, 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 no,
spooky
no. I'm not trying
trance?
to wake them up. That's what you're not getting. I'm seeing
Yeah,
if they
no.
are so far unconscious that a 2 snap won't wake them up.
Mike, why would you want to test that if you're not planning on waking them up? I don't understand why we should poke the bear trap.
Because this is weird and goes with trying to figure out why a guy was murdered mysteriously. Like I said, I'll go with what you figured out. I don't know where we're going with this now. You were here to find someone.
Yes, I
They're
was
not here, but
They're
we
not in
entered
this
a room. We found a room that was very suspicious.
Correct.
So I figured we'd want to look into that room.
Yeah, and I don't fundamentally disagree with you there. I'm my concept of skulkery just sort of is based around making as little noise and sound and interacting with people who could ask questions as possible.
I mean, if we're just gonna stand there listening to something that we don't understand, we're not gonna learn anything either.
So my question is, were there any other doors in that room, Tucker?
Nope.
No.
And there's only one last door in this area.
All right. So kinda I think we just check that other door and then we leave the chanters to chanting.
Okay. And later on, we're gonna find out they were important.
Chanters to chanting does sound like a guy.
Ch- Good evening. My name is Chanters de Chanting. Right. No, the fact that we saw them doing that is the information that that I think is important. I do not see much value in making the people there aware of the fact that they have been observed being spooky. I don't think we're going to gain more information from interacting with them than we already have based on what we've observed. It seems an unnecessary risk is the point that I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I want to check the last door and then just leave the chanters to the chanting and make a note of the fact that chanters be chanting.
Again, chanters be chanting sounds like a guy. So going to that last door.
That is my intention. Yes.
The last door is the only door that's noticeably different. All the other doors had been wood. This one is metal. This one is more secure, though it is unlocked. And within you see 6 sets of manacles attached to the wall. None of which have anybody in them, though.
Can I see any evidence of people having been in them? Past
Yes.
occupants.
Yes, there's definitely some spoiled food on the ground. A moldy bowl.
Mike, what's your character's name again?
Seth Ward.
You see, Seth, this room here is why I don't want to wake up the chanters in there.
A room with shackles?
Yeah.
You're telling me you couldn't outrun them?
I'm sorry, I have to sass one more time. He doesn't have to outrun them, he just has to outrun you.
Yeah. I'm saying I don't want to have to test the theory.
I mean, to be fair, Seth Ward isn't just me. It's different.
Sorry, I shouldn't have. I couldn't resist. I will be quiet again.
Alright, you found this room. What are we doing in this room then?
Nope, I've learned just about everything I feel I need to learn about this room. What else do I see in the room aside from rotting food and old manacles?
Roll notice.
I will do just that. My notice is a D6 plus 2.
I tried to make everybody's skills reflect it, and I feel like the PI should be good at noticing shit.
Oh boy, I'm going to use my one remaining Benning. I got to get a good 12 hours. Wait.
I believe you have 2.
Oh, okay. Then I will use that.
Everybody please mark it off. I think Mike used one, or Kenny. I know somebody else has used
I
one.
still have a full 3. I gained 1.
Motherfucker!
I'm pretty sure I used 1, and I marked it off.
I fucking hate the Roll20 die roller sometimes.
Would you have told me what you're looking for?
I'm just looking for stuff. just to see what's in the room that isn't affixed to the room or rotting food. It feels bad to use a penny and then get another one.
It does. It does feel very bad to do that. So are you physically going in the room to inspect?
Yeah, I mean that's yes. I can't really investigate from a doorway.
Well, I was having you notice from the doorway. If you're going in, I can give a little bit different information.
Oh yeah, I was
Uh,
gonna go in and like physically look around.
well, good. That'll mitigate that one. As you rummage around, a lot of this stuff feels old. A lot of this is cold. A lot of this is even a little dusty. Notice how I said a lot of it.
Yeah, not all of it.
The manacle closest to the door, in fact, has uh, what seems like fresh gruel and noticeable signs of a struggle.
Interesting.
There's some definite like swiped feet on the floor.
Is there enough to tell what size shoe the person might have been wearing,
No,
or see how big their foot is? Is more what I meant.
no, I gathered that. Uh, no, because between what would inevitably be a churchgoer's foot and their foot, it's hard to tell.
Okay, so we can't tell if it was John Smith's foot or anything like that.
The difference between a footprint and something being dragged through the dust.
Did you ask me?
Yeah, isn't that what like Mike had asked, right?
Did you just say what's the difference between those two things?
No, I said it is like the difference.
Okay.
Like, because if it was a footprint, you could tell, but you had described it as someone who had been like dragged. So you've got these sort of sweeps instead of defined prints.
Yes.
Hello? Puku Muku.
Anything else, fellas?
Would I have anything on me that could take blood samples?
Your tongue.
Um,
And that's why I muted myself.
I want to say no. I feel like that's not a thing around this era.
Okay.
Yeah, because the answer is you want to like send it out to a lab to learn something, right?
Or even just myself, if I could do it in the forensics room that we have or something. At the station. Wow, words. It was made to see if it was John's blood or not.
I'm doing some quick Googling. There appears to be some semblance of this noted, but I do not think the police lab, unless they have like a brand new state-of-the-art lab, would have anything even close to being able to determine whose blood this is.
Okay.
They could determine what type the blood is, but that's about it.
But the only blood down here is noticeably dried.
Oh, I thought you said something that was fresh.
A bowl of gruel.
Okay.
The scuff prints. There's no blood in this room, and the room with blood in it is dried to the floor.
Gotcha.
So I ask again, what is the plan?
Getting the hell out of Dodge is the plan.
Do you know where Dodge is by any chance?
Does Seth follow?
Yeah, 'cause I'm not gonna face the entire cult by myself.
I believe Dodge is in Arkansas
It's
or Kansas.
Kansas.
Ah,
It is the setting of the old Western show Gunsmoke.
All right. So you head back up the hallway and out the door you came in through. I'm assuming you're trying to leave as little trace as possible.
Yes.
All right. Well, you're back out on this, let's say, nearly 5 o'clock day.
I mean, we haven't gone through the front door yet.
Yep. Next step is the front door, and just ask a receptionist.
All right. You head back to the grand double doors in front of the building. There's I'm gonna say a guest book. I don't know if there's a better word for it. On a podium right next to it, and there doesn't seem to be anybody. But shortly after you close the doors behind you, you hear a soft shuffling, and a vicar just kind of walks up to the both of you. Good afternoon. Is there something I can do for you?
Good afternoon. I was wondering if I could speak with Vicar Fisher.
He pauses a moment, kind of looks up contemplatively, and then nods and steps away. It takes him better part of 10 minutes to get back. But down at the end of the hall, you see him appear as he guides, as he gestures, and Fisher walks down the hall towards you. Did you settle on a name, Alex? I forget.
Yeah. My character's name
Ro
is
Kornman.
Jeremiah
Corn Roman.
Cartwright. His name is Jeremiah Cartwright. Goes by Cartwright.
Fisher walks up to you and just kind of hesitantly smiles. He looks back over his shoulder real quick and then to you. Cartwright, how are you doing today? What's up?
I'm doing all right. Do you have somewhere private that we could talk?
He kind of looks back again and then just heads to the front doors. I'd be more than happy to take a quick walk with you. And he swings one of the doors open and steps outside.
I will go with him.
He goes down the stairs and begins to walk away from the church. Not at any kind of like rapid pace, just like a casual stroll.
Yeah.
One of them good priest walks that I've heard so much about.
So what's up? I suspect this has got nothing to do with the church. If we're leaving.
Well, myself and my associate here are on a job, so to speak. We're investigating the death of a one guy's name.
John Smith.
John Smith. Yeah, John Smith.
Of a one John Smith. I was wondering if you might have any insight about recent goings-on the street level. Anything about the recent goings-on over at the, any rumors that have made their way through the church.
That's one of the animation heads, ain't it?
It sure is.
Well, that's kind of fucked.
That it most certainly is.
Which should be a solid answer to your question.
Yeah.
Vickers say fuck? Never say fuck. Was
Well,
it
he
never
certainly
say die?
did. He certainly did, and I did not misquote him.
Okay.
It says right here in the script, can say fuck.
Can't say fuck. And will say fuck.
Well, ain't that just the thing?
Injure
Has
human
there,
being.
how's things been between the church and the local underground element recently? I hear things have been a little high tension.
Why do they tie this man to a wheelchair?
Talking about the mob?
Yeah.
Yeah, things are getting a bit extra tense. It's it feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
How do you mean?
There's something lingering. There's something heavy hanging around. I can't place it, but the High Vicar's got something going on.
Something that you don't like the sound of, I imagine. Or I take it.
I can't. I don't like it because I don't understand it. I don't really get what he's doing.
What's been going on, if you don't mind me asking?
He kind of looks back and forth and leans in a bit more and speaks softer. He keeps buying a bunch of stuff.
What kind of stuff?
These big crates. They got some weird language on it. I don't know where he's getting them from.
What are the letters? What does the language look like, Tucker? Does it look like any language that I would have seen before? Like, even if I don't like the alphabet themselves, the letters, are they like a Latin alphabet, or do they look Cyrillic or Greek, or is it just like
Like a mix between Latin and Russian.
okay?
It looks like letters you're mostly familiar with, except, every once in a while there's one that's like, that's not a letter. That's definitely backwards.
Interesting. Yeah, that is odd to say the least.
Yeah, he keeps getting shipments, and I don't really know why. This it doesn't feel like he's using church funds for it, but he sure is having them sent here.
Hmm.
And if you're telling
Uh,
me some bigwig's dead, then it definitely feels like something's going on.
That was what I was. That was my thought too. Something about all this doesn't feel right.
Um,
Uh,
I'm gonna be clear, just so we can kind of squash the pretense. Man on the inside, he's definitely not a vicar.
yeah, dude is very much not a true believer.
Yeah, he's in the church only in the sense that he stays in the building.
Right,
I want to make sure that's clear.
right. He's literally a guy who I have on the inside that I'm just there to get information from.
Uh, to double down, he's not necessarily your guy. He's a guy you found.
Yep. You got any idea what's inside those crates?
I think it's ink.
Hmm. Uh. Okay.
Ink.
You're saying he's getting crates of ink?
he's getting a lot of shipments. The crates are
Hey,
pretty
Agent
big.
Spear.
He goes down to
How
the
you
basement.
doing?
He comes back up with
The video
He's always holding a fountain pen,
is
but
to
like,
just set the vibe that
yeah,
what we're doing is
inkwells.
taking
It's
place in
weird.
like 1940s. So it's just to
What's
kind of
the,
set the tone
name
because
of
we
the
don't have a
bigwig in charge
playmat or
here
anything like
again?
that. But
Make
yeah,
me pull up my document.
it's just some vibes to set up.
It's not really that important. What do you think his opinion is of cartoons?
I think it's Jeremiah Adams.
Oh yeah. I could have. I just realized that's my contact here.
Adams? He don't give a shit. He's an old man.
Isn't he the one who's going around with the fountain pen and the ink and such?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Is
Well-
he around today?
I haven't seen him. No. He wristwatches are a thing, right? A pocket. He pulls
Yeah.
out a pocket watch just because he's that kind of yuppie. I mean, I get it's a church, but it's 5 o'clock. We just passed 5. It's not like we're not exactly in business hours anymore. I suspect people are quiet and thinking, and not that something has gone catastrophically wrong with technology.
You are
Yeah.
correct.
No, I'm just trying to think if there's any other questions I want to ask this guy. But I think I'm pretty much at the end of my list.
All right. Then just to script a little bit, he's doubled back at this point, and by the time you reach that point, the church is once again in sight, and he kind of stiffens up and straightens up, not stiffens up, and you can make the joke, but in my head, like it stiffened made me vision like uncomfortable versus like returning to a proper position. And he just kind of nods, thanks you for your time, and leaves.
So,
So what's your plan, fellas?
I guess
sure.
head towards the animation studios and meet up at the designated time, which was 6.
Kenny,
Yeah.
is there anything else you wanted to do before heading over to the animation studio?
I cannot think of anything.
Well, then y'all meet up. Let's say like 5:30 before 6. You both headed over there early, so you save a bit of time.
Come in.
Cool.
So the three of you reconvene just outside the main gate of the Danker Animation Studio.
So we're here to talk to notes.
Well, boy, howdy, do I have some news for you.
So I assumed we just propeller spun the info.
Yes, but
Well,
I have some insight for it that I don't know
Okay.
if you guys have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless someone has more than just the facts.
Yeah. So, up until now, we've been in the dock. It's clear to all three of us. We don't know what the hell is happening. Is that fair to say?
For the most part, yeah.
I believe that after my chat with my friend over in the certain part of town, we have potentially 2 suspects now, which is, 1,000% more than we had 2 hours ago.
Go on.
So we learned from Mrs. Smith that John had some issues with one of his cohorts, Miss Shaw, as you recall.
Yep, that's who we're here to see.
So, were either of you aware that there's a vote happening tomorrow about what to do with John's department?
Had we heard anything about it, Tucker?
No.
Like,
No.
had the police station heard anything about it?
No, why would you?
So,
I don't know. There could have been gossip in the station.
No, it's internal business.
tomorrow, at an undisclosed time, they are holding a vote to see what happens with the department. Do they keep it around? Do they absolve it? Do they turn it into something else? We don't know. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. All we know is that department's going to be affected. And you know what else I found out? John Smith didn't want to run the department anymore. John Smith did not want to be the head of the animation studio, the animation department, because he saw it as a fad, something to go away. So why would you want to be top dog in something that's not going to stick around, right? What I found, or at least the information that's been given to me, is Miss Shaw, the next in the chain of command in the animation department, has been running her employees ragged with trying to come up with new ideas, new cartoons, new things to keep the department in business. And what does that go in line with? Good old Ani Walker. Because that fool has been burning the midnight oil to the point where he's scribbling all over the desk trying to come up with something passable. Is that right?
Is he in her studio?
Yes.
Or in her,
Yeah, he's in the animation department. He's the desk that we looked into.
No, I know. Is he under her
Yes.
vision?
Yes.
Okay.
So it seems as though if Mr. Smith did not want the department to keep doing what it's doing, Miss Shaw may have had motive to whack Mr. Smith. If he's out of the picture, who's the next in command? It's going to be her. And if there's a vote happening tomorrow, when better to get the guy out of the position other than right before his vote matters, right before he could potentially vote out of the department. And, as we know, what is the animation studio called? The Danker Animation Studios. And Miss Danker, what's her name? What's her first name? I have a first name for her. I don't have a first name for her. Sandra. Sandra Danker is the legacy of the studio. This was formed by her family. Why would she want an animation studio to not animate anymore? So both of them would have voted to keep the animation studio making animations. They would have voted to keep the department. And if John Smith said no, and Peril does not care one way or another, he could vote no. The only way to guarantee that the department would stick around is if John Smith wasn't here anymore. So, the way I see it, Sandra Danker, Miss Shaw, 2 suspects. And I'd hazard a guess that maybe they were working together. Who knows? Who knows? But I think that is a good place to start.
That's a lot of really good information. A lot of leads that we didn't have. If I could add what we discovered in our little journey.
I want to throw out something to what Kenny said. I don't know if I was clear about it or not. The vote is happening because Smith is gone.
I was unaware of that. I thought the vote was happening one way or another, and he would have been a part of that vote if he was still alive. That's what I understood. So then my whole thing goes out the window.
Not entirely. some of the cause does, but yeah, the vote is happening because Smith is no longer there.
All right. I was onto something, but that changes everything.
Yeah, does alter the core concept. Sorry that I was not more clear about this.
That's fine. But Miss Shaw is still a suspect because of the franticness that Arnie Walker was in. Is very suspicious, and if she's making him run ragged like that, then it stands to reason that she's involved with something.
Well, then the fact that her and the murdered person, the victim, wow, words,
Mm-hmm.
Weren't on good terms with each other.
Yeah, they definitely had a falling out recently. I say that's motive. But I guess I should leave that to the professionals, shouldn't I?
I mean, only one way to find out is go in and talk to her. But what we found, we did find crates full of. We're being told it's ink. We haven't
Ink?
checked.
Like a lot of it?
Like quite a few kegs worth of ink.
Interesting. You know, that puts more credibility into my theory that someone in the animation studio is backing the church.
Speaking of the church,
Yeah.
Oh, we also found a room.
we
full of
found some
camping.
shit at the church.
That's what I was saying.
Well, what else did you find other than the ink?
We found a room full of what appeared to be hypnotized or entranced or some sort of a
They were
group
not
of
aware of
chanting
the
people
world.
that seemed pretty unaware of the world going around them, like a mass psychosis kind of thing.
And I'm assuming at some point the manacles were going to come up.
Yeah. Also that room. What with
Also
the
manacles.
manacles?
To be fair, I think we can propeller spin base level of information
Okay.
Yeah.
shared. You can share theories and specifics if you have them, but like you don't need to retell the story to each other.
As it was said that John Smith had a surprising amount of blood in his body, stands to reason that maybe he wasn't in the manacles, but Amanda Manhandler may have been. And I've got this lovely souvenir, should we ever want to go back to the church and get some answers. And I show him the bone charm.
Hey, that's good scrimshaw.
So we've got we actually got a lot of information this session. That's crazy.
Oh, we're not done yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I gotta go talk to this lady in here.
Yeah.
Know what she's doing.
Was there anything else that I wanted to suggest?
Mad.
Yeah, if we want more information on the Amanda Zachariah exchange, apparently the Rangers are the ones to talk about that. And it's strange that the mob is respectful of the forest and don't want to go in where they're not wanted. So the Rangers have some pull.
They don't enter that territory. Interesting.
Yeah. But I think someone in the animation studio is pulling for the church, especially with the ungodly amount of ink you found. Seems like the church is the supplier, which they would need.
This is just a Who Framed Roger Rabbit murder mystery.
Oh, maybe. But let's go talk to the people.
It's not Dip.
No, but it's like they're turning things into cartoon.
It's the Teen Titans movie.
He got splatted. No, my character wouldn't believe in that stuff. Gotta get out of that mindset. Things are black and white.
It's
So what
sometimes
what is
ink.
the plan?
I have no fucking clue. Talk to the animation people, but I don't know what to ask other than directly accusing everybody.
I mean, we can go in with that mentality. Except that,
If you go in with that mentality, you're likely not going to be allowed back in.
Yeah.
no, but if I go under the pretense that we need to question her for more info with my badge. That could work.
I don't know. I don't know what the plan of action is.
I'm game for whatever. I just want to know what the plan is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of moving pieces. That's hard to discern where to start.
You need a little time to digest.
So, we talking like end session here?
I mean, it is just about 10:30.
If that's the consensus, that's fine. I don't mind.
I've had a really good session, but it also feels like a natural stopping point, and it's already, getting pretty late.
I'll give you the 10:20 in real life. I was hoping to get to roughly 10 o'clock in game because that's when I have chapter 2 ending.
I know. I feel like we've drawn this one out for 3 episodes when it was supposed to be 1, but I don't know what to ask.
Yeah, my big thing is it is a little hard to know if we're at where we're supposed to be in terms of like information accrual.
Yeah. Because
and you don't know that, and I'm going to refuse to tell you that. That's part of the fun.
Do we know if we have a time limit in which to solve the mystery by?
I believe it's 1 week.
I don't believe I believe I neglected that part, so I'm not just gonna arbitrarily add one now.
Because
this vote's likely gonna kind of conclude a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so it seems like we need to solve this mystery in the next, 24 hours, if not less. And
like, if you accuse Shaw or one of the heads, you might be able to stall it out, because if they're fucking in custody, they can't exactly do anything.
Yeah.
Except that I can't take anyone into custody, because then I'm going against direct orders, and will lose my job, and they will be released that same day.
Yeah, but the PI can accuse somebody.
And put them where? I doubt the PI has a jail.
Publicly accuse them of murder? People take note of that.
It could work.
Especially if there's, news reporters at the vote. Just show up before the vote is counted or tallied or even casted at that point and just be like, I accuse you of the murder of John Smith. What? Breaking news. And then, yeah, they're going to have to answer for shit before the vote goes through.
Or as we know that the cops are in this town, they go, no, we already solved that.
Yeah, but we can point them to the new information that we've acquired, and we can...
You know what happens to people who question? They disappear.
That would be the best case scenario for us, Mike. If someone tries to disappear us, we have factual evidence of what is happening.
Yeah, but we know that anyone that questions them also disappears. Do we want to have the whole town disappear?
That questions who? The police?
Yes. The guy at the restaurant told us that everything that's people will question what's going on with the stuff, and then they mysteriously go missing.
You know, I think I've already made up my mind as to who this is.
Something
Yeah.
my character sheet tells me it's something that isn't what we're thinking of. Just
Potentially.
Why would I have this law or this hindrance or whatever?
What hindrance is it?
Doubting Thomas. The
Doubting.
supernatural doesn't exist.
Okay. Because it
Maybe
doesn't.
it's just a yeah. Maybe it's just a really easy thing to pick. It's a free hindrance. Maybe I had to create a lot of characters and I just kind of fucked up. Not fucked up, mispicked it, but like just had to fucked up making too many characters and just had to come up with something.
I don't know. I figured it was something important since it's one of the 6 players to 8 players, whatever. That could be selected.
I mean, I even made a new one when my kids played it at school. They suggested a therapist style character, and I actually crafted that as well. But look, I'm not gonna get defensive.
Did your kids solve it?
They finished the game.
Which means they solved it.
No, it means that they made it until they ran out of things to do.
Or the guy got away.
Yeah.
Shit. I just put it all together. You want?
Yeah.
Share with the rest of the class.
All right. It's Sandra. It's Sandra Danker.
Why?
If somebody dies in the next 24 hours, I'll have my proof. But the church came into town fucking out of nowhere and has got roots so quickly that they have not been run out to the point where they are like fucking with the mob on purpose, right? They specifically took Amanda, who was suspected of being a mob person, and sacrificed her. That's a weird pick when they could have picked any fucking civvy, right? So,
all right.
They purposely are pissing off the mob. Who is the other powerhouse in the town? It's gotta be the Danker Animation Studio. So, if they are backed by the studio, it seems to reason that maybe somebody in the studio is the highest most person of the church, which if it's Sandra Danker, it would make sense why she's having them go get ink and like store it for whatever reason. If they were chanting like that, it makes sense that the kills that have happened have been, to your point, Mike, supernatural targets. So like maybe it's a fate kind of thing where like a Rube Goldberg chain of events led to a trash can landing on John Smith's head kind of thing. Like fucking with the fates. Which she would want to vote to keep the department in operation because it's the studio's legacy. I feel like I had more concrete evidence on that, but I feel like...
So why would she get rid of the other person that would be on her side?
No, John Smith did not like the department. John Smith wanted the department gone.
Oh, right.
Miss Shaw wants the department to stick around. So why would you have somebody in a position over the department where they're like, fucking throw it away, I do not give a shit, when you can off them without any ties coming back to you because a ghost fucking did it, and the person who would naturally take their position is right there on your side. Sandra, Shaw. Miss Shaw's been running her employees ragged with new ideas. She could be doing that under the direction of Danker. I think we should accuse Danker at the end of our meeting before the votes cast, at least. Because if she's bankrolling the church, then
like
she's ultimately responsible for killing a member of the mob who is not afraid of the mob's retribution, retaliation.
I feel like we're missing a big thing, though.
Probably.
The body was found without a head.
Yeah,
Well,
but the
I guess
cult does
Rush-
weird shit. They could have taken the head as a trophy, as a talisman, as something. I wonder if you guys had searched every nook and cranny if you wouldn't have found the head.
We could have talked to the person leading the chanting, but no one wanted to.
But at this point,
Mike,
at
that would have been such a bad idea.
but I'm glad you didn't, though, because you let the chant go on. Now, if something suspicious happens in the next day or so, we might be able to say, that's fucked up. They were chanting supernatural, not understanding, like, shit was happening around them. What were they chanting about? And if
More
another suspicious
importantly,
death
though,
took
we're
place...
not chained to a wall in the church basement.
Right.
I mean,
And
we could have also wanted to join.
the mob said that they had no idea of any loose cannon going around whacking people, which, let's be real, the mob would fucking know. If somebody was going around pulling jobs and they weren't with the mob, they'd have an issue with that. So the fact that that's not a thing means we have an even more suspicious person. I'm wondering if we want to talk to the janitor before we go to the animation studio. He may have seen something.
I'm just curious. Was it a red herring to focus so heavily on the lack of blood at the scene? The clean, like, perfect cuts. The super filling of blood. Like, why was that specifically told to us so much?
I don't know, but it's suspicious.
I can chalk some things up to me just being bad at doing a murder mystery. This is well out of my wheelhouse. This is absolutely a bit of an experiment for me. I may have run this before, but I'm still bad at, like, withholding information and creating an air of mystery.
Oh, I think you're,
Well,
I've
no,
had a good
but
time with it.
by
I'm
you
feeling
giving us that
pretty
information,
good.
it makes us want to question that stuff.
Well, the goal is to question everything and to weed out what matters and not.
Right.
Because, like,
I'm
for all
just
we know,
curious if we've
he was beheaded with a razor sharp, red hot machete, and it cauterized the wound as it chopped the head off. He wouldn't have bled out, but he still died.
Yeah, we had more blood in him, but when he died, when he was,
He didn't have more blood than normal. He had more blood than what would be assumed you'd lose from decapitation.
oh, fair.
Plus,
He wasn't filled with blood.
yeah. Also, the blood could have congealed before he was beheaded. I forget if that was, if we figured out if, no, he died from the beheading, right?
I don't know if we figured that out yet.
Because if he died before being beheaded, that makes sense. Blood wouldn't be pumping. He wouldn't have bled out as much.
I believe the coroner, and I really need to stop saying things. I believe the coroner had mentioned that she suspected decapitation.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm ready to accuse Danker, which is fucking hysterical because she's my contact.
What a bad friend.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, my contact has proven that he's unreliable.
Fair.
I can't go to the cop for anything.
I don't know. So, if we're ending now, that's fine. Is the plan of attack to continue to go to the animation studio first, or should we talk to the janitor first?
I don't know.
I also don't know.
You also have the Rangers.
We do have the Rangers who might be able to shed some light on the church. I don't see how they're going to be able to help specifically with John Smith, but if they're able to, give us information about how the church operates and their mysterious ruler that they may or may not have being somebody who's in a high up position, that would definitely help with my theory. But we don't know what they'd say. Yeah.
What if there's something else going on here?
Impossible.
Yeah.
That this murder isn't even the most fun thing in town.
Is that
Impossible.
Is that what you're saying?
Those are the words I chose to use.
Is there a carnival?
I do definitely have other things written down that aren't this murder.
Okay. Maybe we should just burn the whole town down.
I don't know about that. Probably not that one. All right, I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
It is late, and I have a couple of things left I gotta do.
All right. Good night, Alex.
Night, Alex.
Good night, everybody. Catch you later.
Catcha. Tucker, am I warm? Would you tell me that?
I am doing my best to not share information. I really don't want to, because I want to see where this goes as on its own as I can leave it, which apparently isn't very.
Sorry. We might just be bad at
nothing
this.
to do with you. I want to give information. I want things to happen, but I also don't want to give it away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you haven't been to all the buildings.
No, it's a whole ass town.
Yeah, but I gave you a list of notable places.
Well, we still have to go to the Japanese theater. The Rangers hold is definitely something that's going to happen. The Rangers might point us to the Rapid River.
If I had the photographer with me.
Yeah. We haven't really been pointed anywhere else yet.
Nope, I can't say anything, because if I say stuff, I'm going to give stuff away. I know it. I don't want to... I know the answer. I want to have this be fun to the end.
Well, I think I have a good theory. Which is the worst kind of theory to have, especially if it's not right.
Yeah, because as soon as we accuse her and it's not right, anything else we try to accuse will be not taken at all.
Right, but it might force somebody's hands to slip up or something that we can catch if we're wrong. If we're right, then hey, we're right.
Yeah, the problem is I still think that even if we accuse someone, the cops will find a way to get it.
Yeah, but
acquitted.
we can try to bank on the media not dropping it.
I mean, they've dropped every other murder that the cops have hidden.
Yeah, because the cops have hidden it. If we're saying that the cops were wrong, if we're publicly saying the cops were wrong and this was a murder and that Danker's a suspect, that is something that the media will latch onto and won't back off until an answer is given. And no, that's not the case isn't an answer that they would accept.
I mean, they've accepted it up till now.
But they've accepted it knowing what happened. Like, they were notified of what happened when the police told them what happened. So, there was an accidental death. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's report on that. Not, hey, this person was an accidental death. Oh, this private investigating firm, these group of people, have just accused her of murder on the person you said was an accidental death. What are the details of the death? Oh, a trash can was thrown from a roof? That doesn't sound very good. That doesn't sound very believable, does it? What actually happened? Did you look into her? Did you at all question her? What motives does she have?
Yeah, unless we're not believe that would mean that we're not believing what the guy at the restaurant said.
The guy at the what did the guy at the restaurant said? What did Chet say?
I distinctly remember asking him for information and stuff, and him going, "People that get that question disappear."
Yeah, but I literally questioned the mob, and I'm still here.
Right, because you're protected by the mob right now.
I'm not
But if you
protected by
went
shit.
No, but if you were to go to the cops and be like, "Yo, what happened with this?" the cops would be like, "Yeah."
I'll do it. If we want to test that theory, I'll walk up to the police department and say, "Why are you guys so
as
wrong
shown
about
by
this?"
me going, "No, what actually happened here?" and I got told it's over. Period.
Yeah, but if we can make it difficult for them to say, "Yeah, we looked into every avenue," well, why didn't you look into what these private investigators are saying?
I don't know. They've just been able to manage to tuck it away
So
until
far,
now.
but they haven't had to deal with us yet, is the thing. They haven't had anyone opposing them yet. We are opposing the crooked cops.
I am doing nothing of the sort in cop fashion.
You might not be.
I
but
have to be doing it secretly.
But the back alley broker and the PI absolutely are. We know they're lying. You have to some extent, tote the company line, and we get that. But when it comes right down to it, we will accuse the police of lying. Or, very least, not doing the job they could have done.
Yeah, but then the media is focusing on them not doing the job and not trying to catch the person.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. And the fact that Tucker hasn't said anything in the last few minutes tells me that we might be on to something here.
Kenny, I'm just desperately trying not to give shit away.
I wish you fucking would!
The whole point of me writing this was someone challenged me. They said I DM the same way every time. And I couldn't do intrigue or mystery, and I'm like, fuck you, I could do that.
Okay.
So I wrote this with somebody so I could get some feedback on it, making sure that like the twists I have feel good, that the plot seems sensible and relevant. Like I co-wrote this just so that I could make sure it was at least a little bit controlled and controlled while being completely out of my wheelhouse.
Okay.
Will the twist be able to be seen if we don't accomplish stuff?
I can 100% say yes.
Okay. Because then we can respond to that stuff afterwards.
Yeah, because if something happens and we go, "Oh shit, I didn't see that coming," then we know we missed a bunch.
Well, then, no. My issue would be is if something happens and we're not told about anything about it, and just like, oh, by the way, at the very end, it's like, oh yeah, this thing happened because you guys didn't go here.
Which is very possible.
Yeah, hang on, Mike, rephrase your question. What are you asking specifically?
It's more so like if a big event is to happen and we're not, I don't know, like the vote thing. Would we have seen the vote happening if we hadn't found out there was going to be a vote?
Plenty of things are scripted.
Okay. Okay, that's what I'm asking.
So one way or another, we would have found out about the vote before it happened.
Yeah, there's plenty of things you can miss and just never know. There are some things you can't.
Okay.
So the vote is an important plot point that we need to figure out. We might not know what angle we need to figure out, only that is
why it's important.
Yes, only that it is important, and it's our job to figure out how, when, and why.
Essentially, fixed points in time and space are going to happen, and we will see it happen.
Yes.
Not so much why it happened or what we could have done to stop it.
Right, because had I not
Unless
talked
we
to,
find a way to do it beforehand.
right, had I not talked to the mob, maybe we found like, oh, they're having a vote on the future of the company. That's nothing suspicious right there. But the fact that John Smith would have preferred that his department go away, that piece of information changes what the vote means.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
The fact that there wouldn't have been a vote otherwise wouldn't have been known.
Right. And the fact that John Smith was potentially not planning to sabotage, but like taking away the lifeblood of the studio. What's an animation studio without an animation department?
Yeah, it was intentionally founded because Hollywood wasn't focusing enough on it.
Yeah, so for it to shift gears this drastically is motive to get rid of the person who wants to shift the gears like that. We have one person who we know doesn't give a shit one way or another. We have another person who's a legacy of the people who built the company from nothing, who would want to keep that original vision intact.
Right.
And we have the other person who actively is working against his own department. So right there is motive. And
I'm just happy listening to y'all speculate. Like I said, I very much want to create intrigue with this. I don't want this to be particularly easy. I want y'all to have fun.
And I am having a blast, and with the info that we got in this session, I can speculate so fucking wildly now. And to be fair, Tucker, I realize that I could be so far off the mark, but as of this moment, this makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna do my best to give absolutely nothing away.
Mm-hmm.
I want all of the relevant twists and turns to be fun.
And Tucker, so far, I am very intrigued. I am gripped pretty hard by this.
I would
want
have
this.
snapped my fingers.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I would not have.
I get it, Mike. I was silent for that whole thing, but I get the check, because if you snapped and they didn't react, you knew you had more leeway in what you could do, right?
Well, also, there's something even worse going on because they're not responding.
Exactly. But
Are they all dying? Are they dead? Are they drugged?
The B side to that far outweighs any knowledge you would have gained, because if you snapped and if they reacted, you guys were in a lot of trouble right then and there. You were outnumbered with people
we had the clipboard in case we ran into problems.
Yeah, but
we're here for the inspection. No one, they told us to come down here, and no one was around.
Yeah, and that could help if you were happened upon, but if you actively messed up their thing, then they wouldn't have reacted very kindly with that. So I see where you're coming from, Mike, I really do, but I still think that the cons outweighed the pros on that. If you were able to snap and they didn't react, you could probably say that there's something supernatural happening here that is above our level of understanding, and that could have brought us to a different line of thinking. It absolutely could have, but on the off chance that they got pissed at you, you guys would not be getting out of there knowing that there is a dungeon the next room over.
We didn't know that then.
To me, I know the answers, but it feels like option A is get $10. Option B is have your arm cut off. Would you flip that coin?
Which arm?
Since I have a major flaw, yes. My major flaw is to prove that the cops are wrong.
That's fair. You play it how you gotta, Mike. As long as you're having fun, I'm content. I just, in the moment, it really did not seem like a sound plan to me, and I'm the guy running the game. Because
you've seen in movies where they snap in front of someone's face to see if they're there.
No, I get the logic as to why, But personally, I think the rooms prior were suspicious enough, given that
Yeah,
one of them had a big bloody stain on it.
Yeah, and we looked at it and went, whatever, and walked away from it.
I don't want to dwell on this. I do sincerely hope you're having fun. I'm sorry if I spoiled some of it. I just
I don't.
in that
No.
moment I could not keep my mouth shut. Like if you wanted to commit to doing it, I wouldn't have stopped you, but I had to express my thought of like, hang on.
No, it's fine. Because I don't know, I just felt that we had stuff to protect us and ready.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, a clipboard isn't a very sound defense. Like if they attacked you, you were outnumbered. They're down to just straight up murk mob members. A couple of dudes with a clipboard doesn't seem very high on their threat level.
No, I'm not saying that. You're right on that. But what's stopping them from doing that if they just ran into us anyways? There was no point for the clipboard at all.
Exactly, nothing. So it's a flip of a coin if they reacted, and then it's another flip of the coin to see if your presence or the vibe you were trying to give them mattered at all. For all you know, their main target are inspectors. There's a dude with a clipboard. Get him.
Yeah, fuck clipboards.
Yeah, fuck clipboards. These nerds, kill them. But it is almost 11 o'clock, so I'm gonna click stop streaming now.
But you're still streaming?
Yeah, of course. We were discussing it, but now we're not.